Welcome to the Smark Foundation podcast. I'm Aaron. This is Adam.
Oh, hi, Marks.
And it has been a wonderful week of wrestling. And we are
Oh
going to only talk
boy.
about AEW this week, kind of. There is a little bit of WWE in our intro here. And that's only because they have a nice little nickname for wrestling's Lord and Savior. Um,
Yeah, I don't even remember who broke the news or whatever. But I saw on Blue Sky a few days ago that apparently internally WWE has a little nickname for one Mr. Tony Khan, and that nickname is the Snowman, very clearly alluding to the idea that he's always on cocaine. Uh, there were two prevailing thoughts in my life regarding a reaction to this. The one was in the Blue Sky kind of echo chamber because we're all like AEW fans in Blue Sky, and I recognize that. Okay, there's a little bit of an echo in here of support. Even if there's a little bit of a critique every now and then, but for the most
yeah.
part, it's pretty overwhelmingly positive, especially as it regards to Tony Khan himself. And that first response was that while, first of all, it's really super dumb and petty for WWE to have a cutesy nickname for him at all, or
Yeah.
for anybody of the esteemed competition at all. But if you're gonna do it, make it something uh, less cool sounding and less like a 1980s badass drug dealer than the Snowman,
Amen.
because that just
Uh,
makes him sound cooler.
right. You know, okay, like I full disclosure, everybody, yeah, boy here is a bit of an experienced drug user. Um, I do not do hard drugs anymore at all. Um, I do smoke a little weed, no big deal. It's legal most places, including where I live. I'm not gonna say anything else. Um, now, do I think Tony Khan is probably on cocaine? Sometimes for sure. Yeah. Definitely sometimes.
I mean, at least Adderall, right?
Yeah, at least something, at least some kind of stimulant. If it's
Some kind of
Adderall,
stimulant.
maybe they need to tone it down a little bit if it's Adderall coming from a doctor. I'm not gonna really compound on that because it's a HIPAA thing and like I'm not his doctor. However, it's pretty common in people with his amount of wealth to use drugs of some kind.
And his amount of work,
And his
his
yeah, and his
workload.
amount of work. His
Yeah,
workload is
that
fucking insane.
for the record, he's the one who chooses to put that much work on himself.
Mhm.
I don't want to say, oh, he was no, these are choices that he made
Yeah. Yeah.
and presumed choices that he made to accommodate those other choices.
Right.
Presumed,
Yeah.
allegedly.
Now,
We do not know anything for certain. Please don't kill us.
yeah, allegedly. This is all allegedly. Now, do I think sometimes he's on something, some heavy stimulant? Yeah. Yeah, for sure. He comes out really wide-eyed a lot, which I find like he's not Cash Patel. So coming out looking like that, sometimes I'm like, dude, like close your eyes a little bit.
The
Um,
only thing he's high on is wrestling, Aaron.
if
How
that's
dare
all,
you?
dude, God bless him if that's all he's high on. Fucking if he is, I want to love wrestling as much as he does. And honestly,
Yeah.
sometimes I think I want to love wrestling as much as he does because he pulls out some shit sometimes where I'm like, I haven't thought about the lore of what you just did in 20 years. And holy
Yeah.
crap, I can't believe you watched the same match that I did that this even came from. You know, this idea even came from
Yeah.
or how did this man see the same? I mean, we're basically the same age. He's not, I think maybe
Yeah,
younger
I
than
think
I
he's
am.
43,
Okay, yeah.
maybe
So we're
44.
basically the same
Yeah.
age, he and I.
Yeah,
And
we're of the same generation.
so sometimes he'll do something and I'm like, dude, this is almost an exact copy of this storyline, and I saw this storyline in 1987. You know, like when I was a little
Yeah.
kid, and so like I wish sometimes I could love wrestling as much as he does. Now back to the point. WWE can give him a cutesy nickname all they want. There's one thing that they have to understand that all of us out here understand, and a good portion of the business outside of WWE also understands, is that when AEW says this is where the best wrestle, that is not them coming up with some kind of line. That's not a gimmick. the best wrestling is happening on AEW. Period. I don't think that that's even an arguable point anymore. Um, so they can be petty and they can give him cutesy little nicknames and shit like that. They shouldn't be calling him Snowman though. They should be calling him a threat because you let this man get organized. He's got unlimited amounts of money. You can't fucking control him. He can if he has this deal with Warner Brothers Discovery, but try to take it away and watch him just go to some other giant and be like, "Look, I have tons of money. I'm filling out, 5,000 seat arenas 2, 3 times a week and at least once a month, 25,000 seats." Somebody's going to put him on TV. Somebody who knows about wrestling at one of these companies is going to give him a TV deal for ROH too. If you push
Eventually.
him and
Yeah.
he has to push himself, he's already proven what he can do. I
And let's not forget too that outside of the general professional wrestling fandom bubble where it's incredibly tribalistic and there are lines and there are battle lines that is a much smaller bubble than we think it is.
Mhm.
And outside of that bubble, when you look at pure business metrics in terms of as a business, this is a guy who had a startup company from nothing that turned a profit in 5 years after getting a TV deal within the first 8 months of its existence,
Yeah.
getting consistent,
Yeah.
if not stellar, ratings for original programming every single week. They kept wanting him to put out more product. Like it was just you have to look at the facts from a business standpoint. AEW is a rousing success. It is the absolutely unadulterated, uncontested biggest secondary promotion in wrestling history when it comes to comparison against WWF/E.
Yeah.
Like
100%.
WCW was big, it had a bigger cultural footprint for about 2 or 3 years,
We're
but then
past
they,
that now with AEW.
yeah, we're past that.
We're past that. I
Like, I mean, I,
understand.
I was the cultural impact hasn't been there.
Yeah.
Nobody's wearing. I mean, not nobody, but like you don't. When I was when I was 13, everybody was wearing either a Stone Cold shirt or an
And
NWO
the
shirt.
WO shirt. God, man, here and take
They
man
were
here. Ooh.
everywhere.
Yeah, it
Nobody's
was.
no. Let's be real here. Nobody's wearing an Osprey shirt unless they're a diehard AEW
Yeah.
guy. Like
I
it culturally, you do not see the impact, but
yeah.
financially, it is an enormous success by any metric.
True.
People just say that the people who don't want their precious WWE to be contested in any way, shape, or form want to downplay those metrics because it gives them cognitive dissonance because all they want and all they have been indoctrinated to want or to think is professional wrestling at all is WWE and nothing else.
Right.
And that's just not true. It
No.
doesn't mesh with reality.
No. No, the reality is that AEW has the best wrestlers. WWE has the most well-known wrestlers,
Yeah.
but
I would still say that WWE, that roster is stacked.
oh,
Like,
it's
I
got
mean,
great wrestlers, but they
you've
don't let
got
them
Seth.
cook.
Yeah, I know.
They
It's like
don't let them
Seth
cook,
Rollins,
man.
Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens when he was healthy. Cody Rhodes tells a good story whether people like his personality or not.
Yeah. I mean, EO
You
is great. Their
know,
women's division's on top tier
or
right now,
women
but
division
it's
is
still
amazing.
they're
Look
not
at
getting to
look at that
cook.
women's division.
Yeah.
That women's division is amazing,
Yeah. It is.
incredible. Their women's division is arguably better top to bottom than their men's division
Oh yeah.
right
I think that's
now.
true in both companies, to be very honest with you. But um maybe a little less so now with as many injury outs as we
Yeah.
have with AEW, but like I think for the like at a completely healthy pace on both rosters, I think the women outpace the men for sure. I think the problem though that's the difference between AEW and WWE is AEW sends people out there. It's like, hey, you got 30 minutes. WWE sends them out even on a PLE, and it's like you got 10. And sorry, but when you let a match develop, like people want to be like, oh, well, people in AEW don't follow wrestling psychology. Bullshit.
There's more
Bullshit,
than
they
one
don't.
wrestling psychology.
Well, there's not
Just because
really,
they're not working an arm for the entire
well,
match
see, the
doesn't
thing,
mean you're not following wrestling psychology.
overarching wrestling psychology is all one theory, but what the thing about it is that what the point of wrestling psychology is to draw people in and create a reaction. That is the point of wrestling, period. But the point of wrestling psychology is to get people to pay attention to this 30-minute segment very intensely and put their emotion into it because that's what fuels. It's kind of
Yeah,
a symbiotic relationship. We create the psychology, you cheer, it fuels us to create more psychology.
yeah.
It's a symbiotic relationship between wrestlers and fans. And if you want to fucking sit there in front of my face and boldface lie to me and tell me that AEW does not create an emotional reaction, fuck you. I cried, I laughed, I smiled as big as I possibly could. I was terribly fucking upset. All of those emotions, all last night.
You know what I find interesting too is that the same people who decry AEW's ability to do that, despite the fact that they don't know what they're talking about because they don't watch, so they don't know, and they're talking out of their butts because they literally do not know because they won't give it a chance. They'll just repeat a whole bunch of paid off old heads and their opinions instead of
Yeah.
actually giving it a shot and seeing it for themselves.
Mhm.
Um, the funny thing is that those people who decry, oh, they don't tell stories, or they don't, it's like you don't want to feel emotions.
No,
Those are the same
obviously
people
not.
who don't want to feel the full gamut. They want to feel elation. They want to feel hatred. They want to boo who they want to boo and cheer who they want to cheer for the reasons. They don't want to feel anything in between. They don't want to
No.
analyze. They don't want to self-reflect. They don't want to, ride with the ups and downs of characters. I mean, WWE has said it themselves in recent years. They create moments. Well, now that's all they do,
Yeah.
and there's nothing connecting them
And
anymore.
yeah.
At least nothing that, at least from the outside looking in, just watching, or not even watching, just reading what happens online. Like it doesn't really seem like they're trying to connect the dots. They draw the dots, and they're big dots. They're big, pretty, beautiful, eye-catching dots, but the stuff in between is like made of cotton candy. Like
Yeah.
it's just easily just like chops through. There's nothing
Yeah.
solid there. It's yeah. But the second thing though that I wanted to get to before I forgot about it, I asked a friend at work about this whole thing, thinking that he would agree that it's kind of, nonsense or whatever. And he did bring up an interesting point, which I took as a learning a point of education because I keep forgetting that since now the only social media I have is Blue Sky, that I am in kind of a self-imposed echo chamber,
A little
and I
bit.
do need to take into account other people's opinions, and that even for no other reason than to say, oh, I don't agree with that, but I have to face the fact that it exists.
Mhm.
And his take was that like it's deserved. And I'm like, why would you? I'm like, why are you going back and forth on this? And eventually, I mean, his take was a cynical one. It's like, they're both just billionaires, with connections to Saudi Arabia. It's just that one Saudi Arabian government is going to own one promotion in a couple of years and the other one isn't.
Yeah.
And I'm like, to a point, that's fair. Shad Khan is
Is
very,
he
very,
Saudi?
he's not, but he has connections to that government
Well, I mean, most Middle
because of
Eastern
his power
businessmen
and
at his
influence.
level
Yeah.
do. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna hold Tony Khan responsible for the sins of the father, as it were,
No.
because he's obviously
It's
not his dad. You
And I
know,
brought that up, and then this person brought up, it's like, well, what? You're gonna hold the people responsible, you're not gonna hold him responsible for that,
Mm,
but you're gonna hold Triple H and company responsible for Vince. And I'm
here's
like,
where
that's different. That's a different thing
it
because
is a different thing. It is. It
because
is.
Vince created that culture and then groomed Triple H to take over that culture.
Yeah. Like basically, what
He's a part of it.
if you? So Okay, here's the deal. Vince created the culture, Triple H, but it's not that Triple H was groomed to take over that culture. I mean, yeah, he was.
I mean, effectively,
but
he was.
it's that even under new ownership, they're continuing their bullshit.
Mhm.
Like I'm sorry, but like Shad Khan might have donated to the Republican Party. He might have connections to Saudi Arabia, which I'm sorry, for those of you who watch Premier League or basically any league soccer that includes English teams, Saudi Arabia owns a couple of them teams already. If you like soccer, you got nothing to say to me. Okay. Like, and I like soccer and I'm not okay. I'm not cool with like Saudi Arabia owning teams, but I don't root for those teams. So I can watch
If
Saudi
they
Arabia get
owned
their
a
ass kicked.
national team, that's a different thing.
Yeah, it's different. But these are like
But it's different.
they own like English clubs. The same
Yeah,
way Shad
that's
Khan
different.
does, but Shad Khan also owns an English club and he's not an Englishman, you know. So it's like, yeah, he does all that stuff. Does Tony do all that stuff? No, probably not. No. I don't think we're gonna see an
I
AEW
don't think there's
show.
evidence to suggest that anyway.
I
Like
don't
he may.
I
I
don't
mean, he
think we're
does.
gonna see an AEW show in Saudi Arabia. One. I don't think that's
Yeah.
ever going to happen. And I also believe that if it does somehow come to fruition that that happens, I see him going to his roster, unlike WWE, and telling them, hey, if you don't want to go to Saudi Arabia, you do not have to go to Saudi Arabia.
I don't think it's going to happen, but I want to qualify this because there have been questions regarding it, whether he'd be willing to go. And he has not, he didn't say he wanted to. He didn't say, yes, we are, but he didn't rule it out either. That being said, I think he was non-committal because he was thinking about possible pushback. And my guess is that considering his audience is largely comprised of left-leaning
Mm-hmm.
folks, at least in terms of how the wrestling fandom goes.
Yeah.
Uh, and we've kind of partitioned ourselves. We've kind of segregated ourselves to a certain point. Like there are right-wing folks that like AEW, I'm sure, but I think they're far outnumbered.
Oh, for sure. As far
Uh,
as the fan base goes, yeah.
yeah, and I think that this fan base in particular, not only is that passionate politically, but also loud
Yeah.
politically. And I think that he probably floated that out there to see what kind of pushback he was getting. I don't, whatever it was, I wasn't a part of it, but whatever it was, I bet it was enough to say, at least for now, I don't think we should be going to Saudi Arabia at all,
No.
which is good because he's listening to his audience.
Yeah. I mean, they're traveling to other countries already and stuff like that. I don't think they need to go the Saudi Arabia route. I mean,
I
it's
don't
not
think so
like
either.
so they're not like WWE. Like I guarantee, like Tony Khan himself or his family at least probably has more money than WWE does. To be perfectly honest, I mean,
Shad, I think, is worth around 4 billion.
yeah, something like that. I mean, that's what WWE's worth as a whole. So,
Yeah.
like, he's probably, I mean, he's probably got a lot of sway that those individuals in WWE don't have. You know, TKO might have a little bit, you know, but like, but Tony Khan's not in a position of overhead the way the WWE is. Like all these people like to talk about, oh, he pays his wrestlers too much. He's giving them such great contracts. He's going to go broke because of the contracts. Guys, let me tell you, first of all, if he's paying his wrestlers what I've been told he's paying his wrestlers, it's not an industry standard, but he's definitely giving them comparable money to WWE.
For
But let me
far
tell
fewer
you that
days.
but WWE has way more people on their roster that are going to command seven figures a year than Tony Khan does. And somewhere in the neighborhood, like I could name 10 people off the top of my head right now who command seven figures in WWE, and I cannot name 10 people who will command
Yeah.
seven figures
It'd
in
be
AEW.
like it'd be like Roman, Cody, Punk, uh
Cena,
Cena. Well, Cena maybe if he was full time.
he'll probably get seven figures off them for the rest of his life, dude.
Brock.
Brock, for
Uh
sure, Brock. Um,
Probably Drew. probably the low end
Seth
of
and
it.
Becky each
Seth,
for
Seth,
sure.
oh yeah, Seth Becky,
Charlotte
absolutely.
probably.
Uh, yeah,
Yeah.
and
I mean, I could name at least 10 that probably command a seven-figure salary and probably get paid out way more than that in merch and shit like that. So,
yeah, and
but like Tony Khan probably doesn't have that kind of overhead just to start with. Let's also, I
yeah,
mean, his production level is on par with WWE's, but he probably does it for way cheaper than they do. He probably has a smaller, production movement between shows than WWE has. He probably has a lot of things that WWE has to pay for in their overhead that he doesn't have to because he's
yeah,
only a wrestling company and there's not a company above the wrestling company that owns AEW like with WWE. He's kind of the be all end all.
yeah. More the more steps, the more layers you add, the
The more the
the
cost,
more
yeah,
everybody has to get paid.
yeah, yeah. Everybody's got a hand in the
So
jar, so
yeah,
the more layers you have, the more hands are in the jar. He doesn't have as many hands in the jar as WWE does. That's just what it is, and it's that simple. And so anybody being like, "Oh, he's paying his wrestlers too much, he's going to go broke on it," bullshit. He's not.
also, who cares if he pays his wrestlers well? Why do you not want your wrestlers to
That
break
kind
their
of bothers
bodies
me too.
to entertain you when nobody's entertainment should be top priority?
Yeah,
Like, I mean, yes, I love to be entertained. Don't get me wrong. It saves my sanity in some cases, but at the same time, it's like it's not as important as going to work and feeding my family.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
And guess what? Those people who are breaking their backs for your entertainment have to go in some cases across oceans to ply their trade and feed their
feed their family.
families to do these.
Yeah,
So if you are one of those people who are like they're paying them too much, you're a scab. Go look yourself in the mirror and reflect on not just on the ugly person you probably are on the outside, but the ugly person that you are on the inside for not wanting the people who satiate a desire for you to be entertained to get paid significantly more than market value for their service to you, good
yeah,
sir. And it will be a sir 99% of the time, I guarantee you.
yeah, yeah. If you want to watch people not get paid to entertain you, go to a local indie show
Yeah.
so that you're at least forking out some cash.
Yeah. Hot
Uh,
dog and a
yeah,
handshake
that
is
guy might be
actually
getting a
real,
hot.
guys.
That is
Is
okay.
real. Is
True
real. I've
story.
seen it with my own eyes.
For those of you who think that you make money in this business easily, that's not true. So let me illustrate that with a real life story before we go into our AEW weekly shows here. That will kind of cap off the nature of the wrestling industry and why Tony Khan is the good guy in this situation. Okay. Because he pays his wrestlers a fair wage and that it's that simple. He pays all of his people, even his referees and his commentators and his production people, a fair wage. I've seen the job postings from AEW, so I know what a lot of the people that he hires makes because I've applied for some of the jobs myself. And so I know the range that he pays in, and I know it's good. So let me illustrate this. When people say hot dog and a handshake, a lot of people think that's a joke and that's a meme in the wrestling world. And it kind of is a meme at this point, but it's true. I have worked shows as a referee where I did not get paid. Uh, Either by I was trying to break my teeth in a new territory and I decided to work for free, which has happened because promoters will book you so fast if you work for free. And then you prove how good you are, and then they want to book you more and pay you. Shout out to Rick Elsey at Squared Circle Pro. He's one of the only indie promoters I've ever had who has ever paid me what I was worth and even offered to give me like hotel room and stuff as a referee.
As a rep,
But
that's
yeah,
impressive.
fucking great guy Rick is. I haven't
Wow.
worked for him a long time, but I would love to. Rick, if you hear this anytime, I'll work for free. I'll work for you for free, damn it. Um, Now
He's gonna hold you to that now.
he can. Rick
Yeah.
is such an outstanding promoter and an outstanding person that he can do that anytime he wants. I'll happily travel the 2 hours to his promotion and work for nothing. I love it there. It's great. So here's how I illustrate it. There is another well-known named wrestling company that all of you who probably listen to the show know. called the National Wrestling Alliance. I have refereed most of my career for the National Wrestling Alliance. I have refereed National Wrestling Alliance World Heavyweight Championship matches with both Tokyo Kahagas, the Tokyo Monster Kahagas, and Rob Conway when he was the NWA World Champion. So they were champions like really close to each other, and then not long after that was Tim Storm, who's also from my territory. And I'm familiar with all three of those guys. I love all of them. But I refereed like world title matches for these guys against known opponents and shit in front of packed crowds. Um, Along with those, I refereed probably four or five more various title match, NWA US title, NWA light heavyweight title, stuff like that. Traveling champions, which a few came from my territory, so I got to referee their matches. The most I ever got paid refereeing for a night at the National Wrestling Alliance, one of the most storied and long-lasting wrestling promotions in the entire world, was $20.
Oof, a boof. That's not a good look at WA.
No, NWA, you want to get you here? Let me make the NWA look worse because I don't give a shit at this point. For Rob Conway, I paid his booking fee.
You paid
So
Rob Conway?
well, I wanted to be part of the company.
Yeah.
What they offered me in return for paying Rob's booking fee for this evening was the opportunity to ref the world title match, which would have been my second one, which, okay, I was probably going to do that anyway, guys.
Yeah.
Um, but it was like a guarantee because there was this older referee named Ken, whose last name I won't say. And if anybody knows who he is and knows this tactic, they will know who I'm talking about. But he would show up late to a show. And because he was like this 50 or 60-year-old guy who'd been refereeing for 30 years, he would take the main slot from you. Real dick. Didn't like Ken at all. But I paid, it was, you're going to referee this match. You're going to spend a lot of, I got to do like the, dinner and the whole day with Rob and everything. And then I went to, uh, I started coming in more and I was given a junior space on the booking committee, which is where I started booking wrestling and learning how to book wrestling. That they promptly removed me from like a month later.
But they did
After
give
I,
it to you.
yeah. So I got a
Oh,
month, long
Bernie.
spot on the booking committee and I got to hang out with Rob Conway for a day, which was a great experience. Rob's a fucking sweetheart. He really is.
Is he?
Yeah, he's amazing. He's a fucking great guy. He really
I
is. He
heard
was
good
such a
things
good
about
dude.
his OVW work.
His
Like
work's
I heard,
fantastic.
yeah.
He is such
I
like
feel
I
like
don't
he
know why
never
he's not
got to show it
I
in
don't know why he's not
WWE.
in a major. Like in person, like I don't know how it translates on TV currently because I haven't seen him lately, but um in person his physique was just so ridiculously impressive. Like
I remember in
top
WWE,
tier
he looked
impressive,
like an
dude.
action figure.
There are some people
Like,
I've met a ton of like big time wrestlers that you would know the name of. Rob Conway has the most impressive physique of anybody. Anybody. Um he was just but he was also super kind. Um, he did a he did our we paid him extra because he did a clinic with us and stuff like that. And a bunch of people came in. He had like 200 people at his clinic, and but I hung out with him all day the day before the clinic and the matches, and he was just a real sweetheart. He was like we ate together the Big Texan because that's where everybody wants to eat, and like we hung out and he offered me a lot of advice. He watched some of my matches where I was refereeing and offered me refereeing advice. When we came down to the world title match, he involved me a lot in it. Like really, went out of his way and did things that he didn't have to do for me.
That's pretty cool. I
Um,
gotta say
so I'm
that's
not
pretty
mad
nice.
about paying the booking fee really because I got a really cool experience out of it. What I am mad about though is that like you guys paid me $20 every night. I showed it week in, week out, refereed matches with titles that have 50 years of history, and you pay me $20 at most. And that was, when I got paid $20? When I did them all. I got
Huh?
paid $20 to do the matches when I refed all of them, when it was just me. If I didn't ref all of them, I got $10. So NWA, please pay attention to your associated promotions and anybody who's carrying your name because promoters are shitty out here. But that's the nature of the wrestling business, and that's why
That's
Tony Khan
correct.
is the good guy. That's why I don't say it like I. Yeah, maybe I said allegedly he probably does cocaine. That doesn't mean I don't like him or respect him.
Yeah.
And
It doesn't mean he's high all the time, even
no,
if it
it
was
doesn't.
true in an instant.
Yeah,
You know,
but
oh, maybe it was true in this instance. Okay.
yeah,
Is he
but
high all the time? No.
but the roundabout way is like WWE being petty doesn't surprise me.
No.
But it's not because WWE is petty. It's because this is the nature of the wrestling business. And even AEW at times has exhibited a little bit of that pettiness. I mean, come on. The very first thing I ever saw in an AEW show was Cody Rhodes rise up out of the floor on a Triple H throne and smash it with a sledgehammer.
Yeah.
Very first thing I ever saw in AEW.
Yeah. And didn't age well, did it?
No, it didn't really age well.
Uh,
So nobody's
Now,
beyond a
honestly,
little bit of
with today's
pettiness,
eyes, that reads more as "Daddy, please pay attention to me again" than anything else.
but that's the nature of the wrestling business. And that's why, like, most oftentimes out of the ring, in the ring, backstage bullshit, personal shit, the things that I hear about the wrestling industry, I'm not going to act surprised a whole lot. In fact, one of the rare times that I've ever been surprised in wrestling, we'll talk about today.
Yeah.
Because I bet Adam knows exactly what I'm talking about. I bet all of you know exactly what I'm talking about as well, but we'll talk about it later. Anyway,
No.
let's get into these shows because by God, when I say Tony Khan was the good guy, when I say he's the Lord and Savior of wrestling, when I say that I had like the most wonderful week watching wrestling this week, like when we say we're the positive podcast, we're really going to hit that note today because I am super
Yeah,
high on
for
everything
sure.
I saw this week. Ex- Couple things withstanding. You're
Yeah.
not going to like 100% of everything all the time. So when I
Especially when
say
there's
I'm
like
super
9 hours
positive,
of content.
yeah, when I say I'm super positive and super high on this, if there's 15 minutes of this I didn't like, that was 15 minutes out of, like Adam said, 9 hours. I'm I'm not really mad at the company or
Still getting
myself
the
for not liking
bang for your
everything.
buck,
Yeah,
baby.
I got everything I paid for this week and more. So we're going to talk about it. First of all, we've got from Wednesday a special. I don't know if it was like this for you guys, but for us, it was a 2 hour dynamite and then a 1 hour collision, and we had to switch between the two. Like dynamite just
Yeah,
suddenly ended during the Amanada match, and I was like, "What the
yeah.
hell happened?"
I had to switch over to
And then I
Triller.
had to go find collision, and they were showing an hour. So collision was 2 hours this week, but 1 hour was directly after 2 hours of dynamite, and 1 hour was before All Out. I guess that's
Yeah,
how it worked.
I
Which
guess. Yeah.
we probably won't talk much about the hour before All Out because there is a lot of All Out. But
Yeah.
anyway, so we are at London, Ontario, in the Canada Life Place, which seems to be a bigger arena than we are normally in for a dynamite,
Yeah,
but
and it
still
looked
full.
great.
Oh yeah, it was
Yeah,
cool.
it was really another really cool venue. Don't
Um,
get me wrong, I liked, the fact that they had the residency at the 2300 in Pennsylvania, but in Philly, but it was time to move on. It
yeah,
it was time.
yeah,
Visually speaking, it was just, that's the thing is that when you compare again, sorry for this, but when you compare it to WWE, a lot of because of the stadiums they go to, a lot of the venues just kind of wind up looking the same
yeah.
pretty much every time on Raw and SmackDown. Like there's no, oh, you can't really tell where you are.
They don't really have set variants like AEW does either.
No.
AEW definitely
And
has a set variance. Like
Yeah, I think they choose venues that are of a certain size that will allow for the layout that they have,
Yeah.
so that they don't have to change it that often, which has its advantages. And I'm not knocking the advantages. I mean, it must be much easier on uh the people who have to coordinate and move everything if they know where everything is going to be, how everything is going to be done. It's going to be the same every single time. I get the value in that totally. Uh, running these aesthetically, running these smaller venues has been advantageous all year for AEW. It's obviously enhanced the look and the presentation of their product, the feel of it. But the bad thing is that if you're doing these residencies, okay, it's like let's when you have a very specific look and you get used to very specific looks from week to week to week and varying them, then you get into a residency. It's like, okay, I've seen this background 6 times now. Can we move on, please?
I
So
realized
that's
they needed to
you
move
know,
on whenever I realized that the aisle was too small to accommodate the Hurt Syndicate and GOA at the same time.
uh,
Yeah, I was like, man, these
yeah,
guys are like basically fighting around this pole. Like, we gotta get out of here.
no, yeah. It looked like a Beltane celebration, like just freaking just dancing around the maypole there. Uh, but uh, but yeah, this was a really cool and hot venue. These fans
Yeah,
were hot for
yeah.
everything. Good on you, London.
So we started out with the World Championship contract signing between Hangman and Kyle Fletcher. We were, I guess there was we're not going to have any physicality as they usually do in these type of things. I mean, it's kind of a given in AEW at this point. I don't know why they even talk about it. Like we know we're not supposed
I mean,
to.
as soon as you take it for granted, that's when they're gonna switch it on you.
Yeah, that's fair
So,
enough. Yeah. Um, I mean, basically, Fletcher just, he's not scared. He's ready. He wants to be the face of the company. He wants to, hold, he wants to be the face. He wants to, put the company on his back and move forward. And to his credit, Kyle Fletcher probably good. I mean,
I mean,
we'll talk
I think
about
he
more of
can
that
and
later,
will
but
eventually. Yeah,
eventually, yeah, he's gonna be the guy eventually,
yeah. It's
for
gonna be
sure,
him and Takeshita, like as a generational feud. I think it's gonna
probably.
define like this third era of AEW.
Yeah,
Like the first is like, obviously like the beginning and then right up through when Punk leaves. And then the second is when kind of there's a little bit of overlap, but it kind of begins like somewhere in the beginning of MJF's title reign and then into the Death Rider stuff. And then
yeah,
we're in like the probably the end of the second one or maybe the beginning of the third with Hanger in charge. So yeah, that next era is going to be that generation of AEW is going to be focused, I think, around Fletcher and Takeshita.
yeah. I wouldn't be surprised,
I'm okay
man.
with it,
Oh, yeah, I'm
dude.
okay with
Those
it too.
guys are killing it. I don't mind. I just want good
Yeah,
wrestling. I think the best part of this segment though was Hanger letting it after he signed or before he signed has Fletcher sign it. He's like, just want to let you know ahead of time. So A, he's establishing two things here. He tells him that in the contract that you're about to sign is a stipulation to enforce the no Don Callis interference thing.
yeah,
It's going to be if they interfere, not only do you lose the match, but you are stripped of the TNT title, which goes to prove two things. Number one, that Hanger is leading with integrity because he's telling him before he signs the contract. So it tells you what kind of man Hangman Page is. It puts that front and center. Secondly, it also goes to show the continued evolution of the Smark babyface champion they have. It's like he's trying to get ahead of the normal heel tactics that we should be seeing coming from a mile away because he's been in the company with these people for 6 years.
yeah,
He should
yeah.
he's not quite Kevin Owens level of genre aware, but he's kind of getting there. Like
Yeah.
he's seeing things and he's learning and like doing the things that most baby faces are presented as being too stupid so
Yeah.
they
It's
can
like
see coming
you
for the
become a
sake
baby
of
face and you become dumb as
allowing the
hell.
heels to get away with things. So I loved that bit of it. And then I loved Fletcher's response because Down Callis like freaks out. He's like, "No, wait, what? We didn't." Yeah. And Fletcher
Yeah.
just kind of like calmly, he's pissed about it. You can tell it's
Yeah.
simmering, but he's calm. He keeps his cool. He waves off Don Callis, and he's like, it's fine. It doesn't matter. I know I can beat you. I know I will beat you. I don't need help. These guys are going to stay in the back because they trust me that I can get it done because they believe in me just as much as I believe in me. And despite what you say, I know I'm ready. And then he signs.
Yeah.
Essentially, that's what he says. That's not a direct quote or anything, but like that's essentially what comes across.
Yeah.
Uh, signs it, sends it to Paige, who's like, I know what it's like to be in your shoes, but you don't know what it's like in the morning, the next morning when you fail in your first big title main event. I do. And I still, despite your protests, I still don't think you're ready. How you react to that when I give that feeling to you is what's going to define you. And I don't want you to disappoint me in the days and weeks and months and years that follow. Signs it. Both get up. Fletcher says he's the man of his word. He says, I said there was going to be no physicality in this contract signing, but mark my words, by the end of the night, I will have my blood on your hand or your blood on my hands or something like that. Like
Yeah.
beaten, bloody, you know, being carried on
And
a
you're gonna
stretcher, blah
say
blah
my
blah.
full name, at which point the crowd starts shouting Instagram.
Yeah, I caught that. I was like, whoa,
So I got
whoa. I didn't realize that many people were in on the joke.
him.
That's great.
Yeah.
He didn't sell it though.
No, not at
He didn't
all.
sell it.
No soul completely. Um, After that we had Darby Allin and John Moxley sending out their final messages in a little short vignette. Um, Basically just a recap.
Yeah, and they would replay that video right before the coffin match on pay-per-view. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. After that we have John Moxley and Roderick Strong. Part
Oh,
two in Roddy needs to have his wife at ringside when he wrestles.
dude, Roddy looked like a
Oh,
killer.
dude, he was
He looked like
killing.
a killer.
Looked like he beat the shit out of John Moxley like for 20 minutes or so, however long
This
this
is
was.
this is
Like,
why John Moxley needs to be the perennial challenger and not the champion because now he sells for people
mhm.
and now he looks like he's in trouble. And it's like he's like he the outcomes are as if he's the unstoppable babyface, but the way he structures his matches, he tells the story that he's still the heel, and it works.
Yeah,
Like people actually look like they have a chance against him now, whereas like that first half of that title reign, especially like, oof,
yeah.
like I was, I mean, let's be real here. Like Orange Cassidy did his best, but like nobody thought he was going to beat him.
No, no.
Nobody. I mean, and the
I
match was great. The match was great.
Yeah, it was.
But like
It was.
it was a foregone conclusion.
Yeah. But this was like there was a couple times during this match I was like, he might beat Moxley. And
Yeah.
then I kept having to remind myself, like, no, Moxley's not gonna
No.
lose going into the coffin match.
No.
But damned if a couple times I wasn't like, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe he's not gonna lose. Because Roddy took him to Backbreaker City. Like, golly, like
Yeah.
I love how creative and also how just like completely athletic Roddy is with his backbreakers. Like, I mean, I know they
Yeah.
call him like the backbreaker messiah or whatever, but like
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
really is just that good at it. Like, I mean, just
Yeah. The ironic thing though is that like, he has several finishers. Okay.
yeah,
One is I mean, he uses this as mostly set up these days, but the sick kick, which is essentially the same thing as the claymore.
yeah,
So that doesn't focus on the back. The end of Heartache does, the Stronghold does, but he also uses the double knee gut buster from the fireman's carry position
Yeah.
as a finish sometimes. And he even beat Lance Archer and a couple other guys with a high knee. Did those are those back centric finishes? No.
No,
So why are you focusing on the back so much? You're not going to finish with the back thing.
no idea, but it's enjoyable to
I don't.
watch.
I mean, he no, he's incredible. Like he has a particular kind of charisma that doesn't necessarily hit with everybody.
Yeah.
And I will gladly admit that. But you get him between those ropes, that motor starts like once you get him revved up, there's no stopping that guy. That guy has a motor for days.
Yeah.
Like hardly anybody has better cardio than Roderick Strong,
Right. He
which is
seems like
why
the guy
when
that's like super serious, like really studies his wrestling,
which is
like,
why I think that Moxley was happy to oblige in returning fire on some of these things too.
oh
Because let me
yeah.
tell you, by the end of this match, Roddy usually, I mean, even when taking the loss, he doesn't usually look blown up. He looked a little blown up at the end of this, and I think it
Yeah.
was because Moxley was working. Let's just say he was enjoying his work. He
I
wasn't
don't know how
potatoing
much
him
he was
necessarily.
enjoying his work with the post match there, where he climbed out of the ring and started screaming, "Ah, he chopped the fuck out of my chest."
I honestly, I just think he did that for the. I mean, well, he probably was hurt, or probably was
I
feeling it,
am
but
positive Roddy
I
Strong's chops hurt, like
Oh,
for real.
absolutely. He has some of the hardest chops in the business,
Oh
no
yeah.
question. But what I'm saying is, I think he oversold it for Roddy's sake.
Maybe.
Like, I
Maybe.
mean,
It
because
was funny. I was like,
he
I've
did
never
that
seen
right in
Tom.
front of the cameras. He knew it was going to be funny. He knows that he doesn't usually have the opportunity to be funny anymore, and he probably misses it a little bit.
Maybe.
Like, just, I mean,
Like, oh,
not
I
not
chopped the fuck
goofy
out.
stuff, but like, it was a way to put Roddy over, even though he beat him.
Mhm.
And God, you have to think that with how much he respects Shafir, that he probably respects Roddy just as much.
Right.
So like, I mean, that this match is great. I
It
I
was.
like this match a lot. Uh,
Man,
finish
after
comes when Yuta comes in and shows up out of nowhere. When after the rest of the Death Riders had shown up and created first distraction, so that they didn't see Yuta coming because he wasn't with them. It's like, oh, I guess this is all you guys have tonight. He trips him up. He gets into the paradigm shift, and then Moxley chokes him out with the bulldog. Immediate tap out, bulldog choke.
yeah. Yeah, it
So
was but yeah, it was a good match, I thought. Like, I mean,
yeah,
Roddy's impressive. Mox and Roddy, I'd like to see them run this back even again. Like,
yeah,
let's go ahead and do it one more time.
sure,
After that, Tony Khan raised his voice like he's never raised his voice before.
like a boss.
Like, yeah, there's that boss energy that we're looking for.
Yeah,
But yeah, MJF goes into his office to complain about the stipulation of tables and thumbtacks, which he after watching the match he had every right to complain about.
yeah.
But basically it was all behind closed doors. We just had the camera outside the door and we could hear inside the office. And MJF is yelling at Tony Khan, telling him, I shouldn't have to do this. We're not going to do this crap, blah, blah. And Tony Khan screams at him back and tells him, you are going to do what you're told. Basically, you're going to come to work and do what you're told.
I liked the way they did this because for three reasons. One, I don't think anything like this they've really tried before. Like you've seen people go into offices in the AEW before, but you don't usually hear the conversation from the other side of the door.
Yeah.
So the uniqueness of it set it apart. Secondly, it uh, allowed Tony to be that, to do that, to show that, okay, even if it's just in character or whatever, it was a way for him to kind of show some spine. Whereas the sparse uh, appearances that he makes on AEW TV, he doesn't really exude that energy. And in fact, he has kind of a reputation for not having one, sadly. Um, so it was good to show that. And it also probably allowed him to read off the script.
Yeah, yeah, that too
Honestly,
probably.
I think that was the best case scenario for him is to be able to be behind closed doors and yell off a script so that it was coherent and it wasn't flustered and it wasn't
Gonna be great.
that yeah. And the third thing is it put over the stipulation as actually being something that MJF didn't want to be a part of.
Yeah,
Like I mean, if you listen to the match to the show last week, you know that Aaron and I weren't exactly like thrilled about the idea of a TNT match. Uh, our opinions would change once we saw it,
that's
but
true. Very
but
true.
leading into it, it was like
Eh,
tables and
yeah,
thumbtacks. Like, what does that even like look like? Does that it seems kind of tame? We were very wrong, and I'm
very
glad to
wrong.
have been wrong. I
So
will
wrong.
gladly admit to being wrong and glad to be wrong in this scenario. But it put it over as something that MJF didn't want to take a part of. And if MJF didn't want to be a part of it, there's that little part inside of you is like, I want to see it now.
Yeah,
Because Maxwell Jacob Freeman's going to get hurt.
yeah.
And he's a dastardly bastard. So, yeah, okay. Yeah, maybe this is okay.
Yep.
So I feel like it had three goals and it met all three goals
Yeah, yeah. It got the point across. I
for
thought it
sure.
was hilarious though. But yeah, Tony Khan's never raised his voice like that ever.
No,
Uh,
no.
um, after that, we got the match that we've all wanted since last week, and we've got Bobby Lashley versus Toa Leona. Um,
This was better than it had any right to be.
yeah, it was. It
I'm
was.
on record as not being like the biggest fan of Bobby Lashley, uh, but being a big Toa Leona fan. And this match was better than it had any right to be,
Yeah, dude.
guys.
They have really amazing big man chemistry between the two of them.
Yeah.
Oddly
And
enough,
Bobby
this
sold to hell,
dude,
man.
yeah, Bobby sells for Toa, and Toa sells for Bobby, which they don't normally do for really anybody else because they don't really
Yeah.
have to because they're huge.
And it's
Um,
the genius of it too, because last week they weren't selling in the beatdown so that they could sell here.
yeah, yeah.
Like, that's smart.
Um,
That's real
that
smart.
that being said, not my favorite part of this match didn't occur between those two. It occurred when Ricochet came and got in MVP's face, and we got a 3D view of MVP giving old Ricochet the right hook. Is like, I mean, seriously, it seemed like MVP was aiming for the camera directly and just needed to go through Ricochet's face to get there. And
Yeah.
then directly after that, gave him what I think may be the hardest shit can I've ever seen in my life. Like, like he literally tossed him like an infant against the fucking guardrail. Like,
They probably just wanted to make it look good.
well, they succeeded. They fucking succeeded. So much
MVP is
so that
not
like this
somebody
is
to mess
what I
with.
remember, you
Yeah.
know. Yeah, and yeah, but this is what I remember like from the match. Like this is the biggest part of the match that I remember, and it wasn't even the match. So
Yeah.
I mean, they obviously did good here.
Yeah. Uh,
But
Hurt Lock finishes it. Toa does not tap out, passes
no,
out,
passes out.
which is better. In wrestling terms, like in the real world, you tap out to save your limbs or your life, or you know,
Yeah,
in
whatever
wrestling,
it is.
it's a sign of weakness more often than not.
Hmm.
It's just the way it's always been. It's probably gonna be that way for a long time, if not forever.
Yeah, I mean that's
It's
kind of the
just
trope in wrestling.
different different media. That's all.
Yeah,
But yeah, uh, yeah, this is great. Fans were really into it too. They were chanting meat. It was good.
yeah, it was a really
Um,
good match. Way better than I thought it
I'm
was gonna be.
still begging for that Meat Madness match, man.
We got enough guys
Like,
to fill the spots, man. We should do
I
it.
mean, I really think he wants to wait for Warlow to be 100% healthy since he tore his pec. Makes me sad
Poor
and
guy.
must make him feel so frustrated.
Yeah, I'd be frustrated at this point.
But man, I need a Meat Madness melee is what I need.
Yeah, for sure. I do too, for sure. After that, we had Cage and Copeland coming face to face with FTR for their final confrontation before their match at All Out. And I mean, okay, so Stokely basically tells them that if they touch either of these guys, it's 100K, and if they touch him, it's 500K. At which point, I knew that they were all going to get hit.
Oh yeah,
Because
yeah,
really, that's a drop in the bucket to somebody who has a couple, few hundred.
and that would be lampshaded,
Yeah,
guys.
and we'll get there.
Yeah,
But the biggest thing about that is, I mean, so yeah, I mean, they go through, not a lot of new stuff in between these two teams. It's basically been we helped you, we're gonna end you. We helped
yeah,
you, we're gonna end. I mean, pretty much been it. However, this was interesting
yeah,
because Christian Cage said that that amount of money was nothing because he's rich, and then
yeah,
proceeded to break Dax Harwood's nose
yep,
like
yep.
immediately. And if you watch the replay, yeah, it's that very first punch. Just kind of splays Dax's poor nose across his face. And I'm like, damn, Christian, that's a little
It's
snug.
cold. Well, you gotta. Have you ever looked at Christian Cage's hands?
Not really.
Proportionally speaking, they're enormous. He has like frying pan hands for the size of his wrists. They're absolute. Go and look at his hands. His hands are just ginormous. There's no reason for a man his size to have hands that big. Um, but like, yeah. So if he actually hits you, yeah, I believe he can bust a nose open in one shot for sure. Absolutely. I didn't realize it was that first shot though. Oh, I thought it was later, but huh. But yeah, I thought what was interesting about this is that they hadn't done this in a long time, but like Tony has never really been um he's let people cut promos however they like, and all of wrestling essentially is canon
Yeah.
in AEW, even if they won't mention certain names. But there were some names mentioned here for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, that some who have formerly worked for and currently work for the other guys. He mentioned uh, didn't call him Cass like he was called at the time, but Big Bill and Enzo, Gable and Jordan, Gargano and Ciampa,
Champa. Yeah.
like those were the three that stood out because they were the other guys. Like it's like, oh, we're doing this again, huh?
Yeah.
Like not, and the reason that it works is because it's not taking shots; it's establishing a legacy. It's acknowledging those guys' talent without, you know, putting them over at the expense of AEW talent. So, no, I thought that was very interesting. Um, Especially since, if I'm not mistaken, they won the NXT title back in Toronto from Gable and Jordan at that Roadblock show, and it was at NXT Roadblock or WWE Roadblock, the one that where Triple H was champion because he won the Royal Rumble, and before he faced Roman at Mania, he faced Dean Ambrose, and probably the best match he had in WWE in terms of a singles match, and
Yeah.
certainly Triple H's best match since semi-retiring,
Yeah.
and probably for a lot longer before then, if we're honest. That
Yeah.
match is great. It really is. Uh, Definitely showed a different side of the man we now know as John Moxley, and really, honestly, it was bad for them that that match worked out as well as it did because it made Roman's match against Triple H in comparison seem even worse. And that match is not good.
No, it was already bad. Yeah. Like,
Oh, it's like a 20-minute match that seems like it's 40. And it came at the end of like 7 straight hours of wrestling. A main event that nobody wanted. The only thing that they popped for was when Steph finally got some comeuppance for something she did and took a spear through a table off or something. Well, it was
oh my
I
God.
think it
I
was through
remember.
a table
Yeah.
off the edge, right?
Yeah.
Like
Something like that. But yeah,
it
she
was
took
a
a gnarly
big
table
bump.
bump. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
like good
everybody was
on her.
happy. And that was
But
like the
like
only
her,
pop.
but that
Yeah.
was the only pop of the whole match. Like that match is dog water. Like
Yeah.
So I think that match actually helped Dean more than anybody else at the time because
Yeah.
like, well, I got a good match out of him.
Why couldn't you?
So people, I think that's when people really started getting behind him for WWE champion too, is after that match.
Yeah. After that, we got the Young Bucks backstage with Renee Paquette, and she's earlier today, I guess, and she's caught up with them. Um, Basically talking about that they're in a four way ladder match qualifier tonight against Bang Bang Gang, and that they also then kind of say, "Oh, I'm sorry, we've been mean to you for the last few years," and give her 10 grand.
Yeah. Which she gladly took.
Yeah, yeah. I still don't think she likes them, but
No,
but she
that's
definitely
that's
took the 10K.
that's American dollars, USD, real stuff.
Yeah. I mean, she's probably going to need that for something that happened last. I'm positive somebody's going to need some reconstructive something. Anyway, after that, we will go straight into said match with Young Bucks and the Bang Bang Gang. Juice Robinson and Austin Gunn representing Bang Bang Gang by themselves still. I guess we still haven't pulled the trigger on Ace Austin joining the group. So,
I think it's better to wait until after the pay-per-view so they
well,
have
yeah, you're probably
more of
right
a
about that.
cleaner slate.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, the Young Bucks come out. They're giving away money to people with pro Young Bucks signs. Really trying to win over the crowd. I guess they paid off the production people, like they said, and their entrance is normally, well, actually, it was kind of excessive this time, but it's back to normal with the lame piano music and all that nonsense. I'd really just rather them go back to Kansas, personally. That's what we're gonna do. But
No, because that'll
uh,
get a babyface pop.
oh yeah, yeah, they're heels. They gotta have the stupid music. Okay, fair enough.
I
Um,
think once they turn face, and they inevitably will somewhere down the line, I think
yeah,
that they should go back to Kansas. I love Carry On Wayward Son. I think it's a fantastic song. I have a lot of positive emotional attachment to it because I'm a fan of Supernatural.
word.
So I used it at my wedding. Actually, people didn't get it, but there was a uh, leading up to the introductions. My wife and I we had a DJ who was fantastic. Put together this video package of like old photos and stuff, like kind of not charting necessarily, or but kind of chronicling our relationship leading up to the wedding.
Mhm.
And it was like the road so far, and then Kansas hits, and it's like,
Ah,
so the people who got it did. The people who didn't get it were probably very confused because that's not the kind of song you want at a wedding. That's for sure. But we didn't do it for them. We did it for us and for the people who got the reference. So it didn't
word,
matter to us.
word.
But yeah, so I have very positive association with that song. So I would love to see a return whenever they turn babyface.
Yeah. This was a really good match with a lot of jeopardy. There was a couple times where I thought the Bang Bang Gang was going to win. That's who I wanted to win. But of course, I kind of knew the Young Bucks were going to win this.
I think
Um,
that was the only one I figured definitively definitively was going to win their match. The
yeah,
other two were kind of up in the air to a
right,
degree, at least to a degree greater than.
yeah. Um, but yeah, I mean, I thought it was a really good match. Nothing super special though. I mean, I kind of get your shit in on both sides match for me is
Yeah,
what it felt like. Um, I mean, there's just not a lot of
Austin
heat
and
between these two teams,
yeah,
like nobody really
Austin and
dislikes.
Juice are still kind of finding their chemistry with one another because they're not
Yeah,
normal tag partners.
right.
So like if you want to call Juice having a normal tag partner, it would have been Jay White, and
Yeah,
obviously Austin would have been Colton.
yeah,
So, like, the it's the two opposites that are trying to find some tag chemistry with one another,
yeah,
and you can't force that. It's just gonna come over time. Like sometimes it's a short amount of time, like with Brodito, and
yeah,
sometimes it takes longer. But you know,
yeah,
Meltzer Driver takes it though.
yeah. After that, we have our 8 woman tornado tailgate brawl announcement for the 8 woman match for the tailgate brawl. Um, just to drop it in here, it was a pretty good match. It was fun. It was fun.
Yeah, I
Um,
didn't see the pre-show, but I know the baby faces won by a certain other promo that referenced it
yeah,
at the All Out show. So
yeah,
good for them. I'm glad.
yeah. It
Good
was a
for the
pretty
baby
good match.
faces.
It was just a little fun. It was just a fun match. Like it wasn't really
Yeah.
like a like a brutal hardcore match or anything like that. It was
No, it
just
was
a
a
fun
silly
match.
hardcore match.
Yeah, it was silly. Um, After that, we had our last unified championship eliminator tournament match with Mascara Dorada and Beast Mortos, and holy crap! The
Yep.
I thought either one of these guys could win. I
As
posited
you know,
last week that it might be Dorada, and
I was positive last week. It was, or I was undecided up until the announcement for this, or the announcements for the competitors were made prior to this match, like in the minute of, and I realized that they wouldn't fly Mascara Dorada all the way to frickin' Canada if it wasn't going over.
yeah, that's what I thought too, actually.
I'm like, oh,
um,
well, sorry, Martos, you're my boy and everything, but yeah, you're gonna have to do the job again.
yeah, but this was like a
Ah,
great match, man. Dorada
justice for
is
Martos.
yeah, Mortos is great, as we know. Dorada is also fantastic. So this
Yeah,
match was nothing short of spectacular. I mean, these two guys obviously worked together before, and
yeah.
it showed.
I was really surprised by how much of the beginning of this match was dominated by Dorada.
Yeah,
Honestly, like Martos didn't get anything in until like he he what he reversed countered something that Dorada did off the ropes uh into his like Gonzo bomb finisher, which was like Gateway to Hell or something like that.
yeah, something like that.
Yeah, and it was so smooth. I blinked and it happened. I'm like, what happened? I had to go. I had to rewind to see what had happened. Like, what? How do you even? How do you even do that?
Right?
Oh. But yeah, that was when Mortos. I wouldn't say took over. There it was, but it was a more even contest from there on out.
Yeah, yeah. But you know, they found a little separation. Dorada, recovers pretty quickly. He gets a head scissors from the top rope,
You know,
and
yeah,
then shooting star press 1, 2, 3. Dorada's going to the title, and we will talk about that more later because holy shit.
for sure.
Um,
Like the dude did not waste his opportunity when he traveled to Canada.
no, he did not.
He understood the assignment and he
Yeah,
understood the opportunity that was in front of him.
yeah,
And I think he made a hell of an account for himself, for sure.
yeah, yeah. He sure did. Um, After that, we've got spotlight on Tony Storm on stage,
Ah,
and she's doing her her very Tony Storm promo.
love it. I love everything about
Yeah,
it. I know.
but
oh, another week where Adam fawns and is enamored with Tony Storm. Oh no. I know
yeah,
I'm predictable at this point, but she really is the best. Like I can't overstate it.
yeah. But yeah, she goes through her promo, wrapping up with where the best wrestle. This is where the best wrestle. If you're not willing to put your life on the line every time you step in the ring, you ain't shit.
Oh,
At which point she's interrupted by Hater, who also like co-occupies the spotlight with her, to remind her of their history and that Hater gets hot.
symbolism.
Yeah. And then Statlander pops up in the spotlight also, to say she hasn't done this in about 4 years and questioning if either of them have the ovaries to do this. And then Tony Storm tells them that they all need to trim their bushes because we're going all out.
She doesn't get to the words all out though before
Yeah.
Tekla's music hits. And
Tekla's music hits.
Tony is irate. She's
Yes.
apoplectic.
She's irate, but there's tons of referees that kind of make the separation very quickly so they don't really
And you know
touch
what?
each other.
And you know the thing that popped into my head, the immediate thought that popped in my head when this happened was just like watching Tekla and just the overwhelming thought like, God, she's cool.
Yeah.
She's
She's cool,
so
man.
cool. Like to a in a different way and to a different level than literally anybody else on the female roster.
Yeah.
Like she's a bad bitch. Like, she will mess you up,
Yeah.
and she will not care. Like she just everything about her just screams aura. I'm a really, really big fan of Tekla.
Mhm.
So that I mean, so this going
Yeah.
into the no holds barred match with Queen Aminata, and I'm like, just fight forever,
Yeah.
please. Just
Um,
just be just Tekla is Raven to Queen Aminata's Tommy Dreamer. Just have them
yeah.
fight over and over again for 2 years, and finally have Tekla lose after like 2 years, and give Aminata that huge moment, that Tommy Dreamer moment. I think it would be brilliant.
Yeah.
It would
Now,
be amazing.
here's the thing that I this was a really good match and it was fun and
Oh
I
yeah.
always like watching these two go after each other. But once again, it's something extracurricular that holds my attention, and it's that fucking ninja level one-handed catch of the freaking kendo stick by Excalibur that saved Brian Danielson's
That wasn't
face.
even on screen.
No, it wasn't. I had to see a different video of it later to see just
Yeah.
how awesome it was.
Yeah.
And I mean, he just straight up just reached out and grabbed it like right in
Yeah.
front of like Danielson and Shivani's faces.
Yeah.
And I was like, this, oh,
I'm glad that that happened for their safety. Tekla, I get that you're like unpredictable and but be a little more cognizant of the people who don't wrestle or around ringside, please.
yeah. Don't
If
throw a
I
kendo
had
stick
one
at Brian
criticism,
Danielson. You don't want his wife to show up and get in a fight with you.
yeah,
Although after, oh no, we'll talk about it later.
but yeah, like this was just there was some brutal stuff in this match. They
Oh
really, I mean,
man,
anytime it's a hardcore match with women in this division, they just take the opportunity by the horns and just don't let go. I was surprised they called this no holds barred because I just kind of assumed that WWE had the patent on that phrase,
yeah,
but they must not, the trademark on that phrase. They must not because they did it here, and I
yeah,
haven't heard squat in regards to cease and desist or whatever since then. So
yeah. Um, this one kind of came down to the story of a chair, though. They kind of swap moves on this chair over and over again. But then Aminata kind of gets she hit the Fisherman Buster on a chair, which was a great
yeah,
Fisherman Buster, man. And then,
yeah,
but then she goes up top for a leg drop and completely misses. And at which point Tekla stomps her into the chair, and that
and it
looked
was unlike any
gnarly,
other
man.
stomp I had ever seen.
Yeah,
Like it
it was
wasn't like
just,
one that like like Seth does a really good job of making it look dangerous, Seth Rollins, but
mhm.
actually being super duper safe because he he puts his foot on the guy's neck and then still goes up to kind of like lead him into, okay, this is the motion we're doing.
Yeah,
This was just she just freaking stepped on her. Like
yeah,
it
just
in a like a running step. Like
yeah.
it was like, do you guys actually hate each other? Because I'm getting the feeling that maybe you actually hate each
I
other.
mean, sometimes I feel that they might. But Tekla gets
Especially
the
with that
win.
pin. That pin was weird.
Yeah.
Like the way Aminata, like she had like her arms crossed or whatever, and it was tackle was super deep. It reminded me a little bit of the way Sting pressed all his weight on Jeff Hardy's shoulders. That
Hmm.
infamous title match they had where Jeff was all messed up and
Yeah.
Bischoff told him to just go home.
Yeah.
Just drop him with the
Immediately go
Scorpion Death
home.
Drop and do not let him kick out.
Yeah.
Like it reminded me somewhat of that. Huh. I'm wondering if maybe these two actually have heat.
Maybe. But directly after the match, Tekla grabs the mic. She screams, Tony.
Her first on-screen words,
Yeah.
if you don't count Hey AEW,
Yeah.
and it's just her screaming,
Yeah. She just screams Tony.
Tony.
And then basically all of the people in the match show up. But then Sky Blue and Julia Hart show up, and Hater shows up, and then the referees are trying to separate everybody, but like it's just a melee from that point.
Yeah,
Death Riders are in there somewhere, Statlander, and
yeah.
she's just trying to get them to go away, which we still don't
And
have a
hey,
definitive answer on all that.
yeah. Hater looks like she's gonna hit Tony, but Tony turns around and seems disappointed that Hater didn't take her head off. Like,
Yeah,
like it plays into the whole looking for her murder kind of this is a burden, guys.
Yeah,
Please take this from me. Like, and we'll see that story develop at the pay-per-view too.
yeah,
That storytelling beat. Alicia too is back.
yeah,
She's with Top Flight and SCU, Skyflight. So they're talking about they've got their main event uh against uh, Don Callis families, Hechicero and Josh Alexander to go on to qualify for the ladder match for the AEW tag belts. Hangman Page comes in. Didn't expect that. And he's like, yeah, those Don Callis family guys are crafty some bitches, so just watch yourself out there. And like it was good to see him and Christopher Daniels on the same page. Like kind of assumed they were, but it was good to see it canonized.
yeah,
You know, that Hangman is, he's apologized, he's made up for it, he's made his peace with it. Christopher Daniels has forgiven him, like he already had, but it's good to see them on the same page again. It was really nice to see that.
yeah. After that, we have our AEW World Tag Team Title four-way qualifier with between Jet Speed and Killswitch and Kip Sabian. And I really don't have to say much about this. Look, I thought Jet Speed was going to win. They did, and they did because Killswitch and Kip Sabian could not be on the same page, and Killswitch ended up abandoning Kip Sabian mid-match to just and left him to
Yeah.
two guys who might be the nicest wolves in the fucking world because he
Yeah.
literally left him to the wolves. Because I mean, like,
Yeah.
yeah, Speedball and Kevin Knight might be like all smiles and happiness and may purport and are purportedly two of the nicest people you will ever meet, but those are wolves, guys. They
Yeah.
are so athletically gifted that in the wrestling world, that's a wolf. And you just
Yep.
left Kip Sabian or Kip to the fucking wolves, man.
Oh, poor Kip. Wah. He was bullying Killswitch the entire time.
Yeah, first of all, how are you going to bully somebody that can literally, like, literally at any point might just eat you?
The only thing I can think of
Like,
is that Kip Sabian, from having dated like the premier hottie that is Penelope Ford, just has under underrated, massively overrated the size of his balls. Like he
maybe
just because like he's punching up for sure, but like I think
in
it's
both
given him a sense
ways.
of yeah, but I think it's given him a sense of false confidence that's playing into this. I mean, in character, clearly.
Yeah, yeah.
That's I'm sure he's a nice guy. And,
Oh, I'm sure he is.
I know Penelope's nice because George it was
Yeah,
in her training group. So like, she's rad. And I'm sure that he's channeling that. Is like he thinks he can bully Killswitch because what is Killswitch really going to do? He's underestimating him and overestimating his own worth,
yeah,
and it proved to be true that he
yeah.
was doing both of those things. Uh,
And then Killswitch abandoned him, and then almost directly after
Killswitch did
getting
not engage. Let's just say
no,
that.
yeah, but then almost directly afterwards, Speedball gives Kip like probably one of the gnarliest of his roundhouse kicks I've seen him give because that one was snug, looked like,
It was,
and puts Kip down, and that's it. I mean, I'm sorry, but this was the one match where I was like, Chesapeake's definitely gonna win.
yeah.
Like, I knew
This
that was gonna
served
happen.
this served kind of like it was weird because it seemed like it skipped over a couple of steps in the the kill switch and Kip Sabian storyline progression. Like I felt like this was kind of getting a little like the pacing was weird. It was like this step should have been like 3 or 4 weeks down the line.
Mm-hmm.
As long as they were going to be on TV every week. But obviously they had a payoff at the pay-per-view that they wanted to get to, and so they set it up here.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it was in retrospect, I'm totally fine with the story that they played, the story that they told, even if the match itself athletically kind of suffered for it.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah,
It was in service of a storyline. I'm okay with that.
yeah,
I'm okay with that. Um, But yeah, I'm honestly I'm just glad Kip gets to be on TV because honestly he's so talented and he hasn't really had a whole lot to show for his talents over the past year. He joined the patriarchy and didn't wrestle a match for the patriarchy until the patriarchy wasn't the patriarchy anymore.
Yeah.
He'd never wrestled a single match as Christian Cage's son at all
No.
that I can recall. Like, what was the point of that? I mean, it got him on my TV because I like Kip and I just want opportunities for him. And this is an opportunity, and I think he made the most.
Yeah.
So good on him.
Yeah. After that, we had a promo that, for the record, I didn't think made very much sense, but that's because I also keep track of certain things outside of the show. And as most of us know, like, so okay, it's Brian Keith and Big Bill. Big Bill saying, he's seen the graphic, he's heard all the talk that he doesn't belong in the ring with Eddie, and that the online fans are kind of getting after him, but he doesn't even know if Eddie's going to show up. And so, I'll see you Saturday, Eddie, or will I? Unbeknownst to whoever filmed this, and I'm assuming they maybe did this like the Saturday before or something like that, because that day Eddie had like posted.
That didn't look like the backstage at the 2300 though, where it would have been
Yeah, see,
filmed,
I'm
where
not
it was
sure where they did this though, because like, or when they, maybe they did it like in the afternoon before.
maybe.
But I see that it's just
It
weird
almost looked like it
because
was in the hotel.
Eddie had already tweeted like, money's right, contract signed, I'll see you Saturday, bitch, like.
Well, I mean, he
And
could just be big timing and say, "Yeah, I'll believe it when I see it."
yeah, I mean, I guess I could take it that way, but that's not the way it sounded,
That's
like,
not the way he didn't articulate it that way
no.
specifically. I get it.
um but aside from that, I mean, I was still hyped for this match. It didn't matter. uh
Yeah.
After that, we got Brian Danielson sitting down with Darby Allin. um and they're kind of going over John Moxley and what happened to Brian Danielson with regards to Moxley, and Darby saying, "Hey, don't get involved in this match," and Brian Danielson giving his word that he won't get involved in this match, but then whispering something in Darby's ear. Now, I will say this, and we'll talk about it later, but I guessed this 100%.
Yeah.
I knew exactly
Good.
what he said to
I'm
him,
glad because
and I knew exactly what
I
was about
did.
to happen.
I was intrigued. I
I
didn't
was
know.
intrigued, but I was like, I wonder. And then I was like, so I kind of thought about it, and I was like, he probably said something along the lines of, "I've got a present for you," or something.
Yeah.
And then
I
I
mean,
kept thinking
I
about it. I
guessed
was like,
that much, but I didn't guess what it was.
when he pulled the bag out, well, we'll talk about it
We'll
later.
get
We'll
there.
talk about it later. Yeah, yeah. Because I mean, yeah, I guessed this like
There's so
100%.
much that was set up on this show that got paid off at the pay-per-view
Oh yeah,
that
so
that like
much.
we'll get there is like going to be the most prevalent thing you hear for the
Yeah,
rest of this review.
yeah. We have like three more matches on this show, and then we'll get to all of the stuff we're saying. We'll
Yeah,
get to it. Okay. After the Darby sit down, we had Rio versus Robin Renegade, which I
with
was super
Mercedes
happy about
on
on
commentary.
commentary. I will say this: I don't really like Mercedes on commentary.
She doesn't really add
Yeah, she
anything
didn't really add
on
anything.
commentary.
Some people really
Like,
do. Don Callis adds something.
yeah,
Certain
totally.
people, Daddy Magic, every time he's out, adds something. Brian Danielson has
Yeah,
been adding something these last couple weeks, and it's fantastic.
yeah.
Um,
I
I
saw
think that's
somebody on Blue Sky compare him to Don West in terms of the spirit that he carries with it and being a fan and being excited. And I
I
think
could see
that's
that, but I also don't think Don West could kick anyone's ass. So,
I don't know. He was a big dude. He could sit on somebody.
oh. But no, yeah,
No, I
no.
mean for real. Like if that's your move, that's your move.
Fair. Okay, I do love John Tenta, so I'll let it pass.
Yeah.
I mean, that was his move.
Oh, one of the nicest guys to ever wrestle.
Fuck yeah.
And a
I
guy who
met him
looked
twice, and
40 when
he was
he looked
fantastic.
40 at like 23.
Oh yeah, poor.
Poor
I'm never
guy
gonna
had
speak ill of his
terrible
hairline. Poor
hair.
guy. I got lucky, So I mean, but
No,
yeah, the
I
poor
mean,
guy.
I have heard nothing but glowing things
Oh,
about John
he's a
Tenta.
very nice man. Both I met him when I was a little kid, like at a WCW show, like coming out of the backstage,
Yeah,
going to the cars and stuff. Like I
yeah,
met him there, and he was like so nice to me.
yeah.
And then I met him again like later, like probably couple years before he died, I think, and then
Yeah.
he was like super nice then as well. Like, but at that point, I was like already interested in like being part of wrestling and stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
um, but yeah, so we have Rio and Robin Renegade. Now, full disclosure, going into this match, I knew Rio was going to win this unless Mercedes pulled some kind of
Yeah.
bullshit.
Yeah.
But Mercedes doesn't really. She's kind of a attack you afterwards person, not a attack you during your match type of person. And
Yeah.
fair enough, I'll give her that.
There,
Fair
there's
enough,
th-
you know.
honestly, that's kind of uh in its own way, it's kind of a bit of integrity, you
Yeah, a
know?
little
She
bit.
wants to let them take care of business if they can first before she gets involved.
Yeah,
She trusts them. She continually, to her historical failure, actually, uh, she continues to let people prove her to her that she can take care of their business, and then they can't, and that's when she gets involved.
yeah. Um, Rio, I mean, really went after it with Robin Renegade. I mean, they had a really good match.
Yeah,
Um,
Robin looked good.
Robin did look good. She put on a
Yeah,
great match here.
is her twin
I
healthy
don't know
yet?
what's going on there, man.
I
Like
heard
they're
rumblings
just not
months
reporting a
ago.
lot of it, you know?
I heard
Like
rumblings months ago that, after Camille disappeared, that maybe the idea would be to put the Renegade twins with Mercedes, which I
I
think
mean,
would
that
be
would be good.
great for the Renegade twins.
Yeah, it would have been a
I
good
think that
idea.
would be a
Yeah.
fantastic opportunity for them.
Mhm.
I don't know if it adds anything to Mercedes, but it could, because they're bigger and taller than she is, and if there's two of them, despite the fact that they've been jobbers for pretty much their entire AEW careers, fact of the matter is, if there's two of them, you know,
Yeah.
two versus one usually favors the two.
Yeah. Especially when they're
So
identical and can squat.
yeah, yeah. You think you're hitting one? No, you've been hitting the other this whole time. The one that you
Yeah.
were aiming at, is coming from the side like freaking raptors in Jurassic Park.
Clever
So
girl.
clever girl
I like it. So yeah, a good match. Rio gets the win,
with a
but then
crucifix bomb. Yeah,
yeah, with the crucifix bomb, which we'll talk
which
a little
looked
bit more about
amazing.
later. I have
Oof,
man,
that
man, this pay per view,
that girl is tiny, but she will kick your
dude.
ass.
Yeah, she was kicking
She
so
will
much
kick
ass.
your ass. I really wish that she wasn't wearing those cuffs, because
Yeah,
it made like everything look like, okay, well, she's not hitting her. The
no,
cuff is
yeah,
she's making the cuff hit her so she doesn't have to like go get as close. Like it didn't look good.
yeah.
So
But yeah, so Rio gets the win with the crucifix bomb, and then she calls for Mercedes to come to the ring. Mercedes, well, Robin Renegade grabs her leg, and Mercedes uses that distraction to lay her out. I think it was with the title.
uh
Hit her with the belt.
backstabber.
Oh yeah, she hit her with the backstabber. Okay, and then stood tall going into the pay per view,
Yep.
which we'll
Well,
talk more
as
about.
tall as she can.
Yeah, either of them
I
really.
mean,
Yeah,
she did have like 5-inch heels on,
she's the
so
big one in this feud. Remember? So
yeah, yeah. Like that must have been real strange and kind of awesome for her to go into that match not being the tiny one for once.
yeah,
You know, like it was like when Shawn Michaels faced Rey Mysterio,
yeah.
that one for the Eddie Guerrero tribute show. It's like, holy cow, I've never been the big guy. This is awesome.
After that, we go to a Death Riders promo, and it's Garcia calling out Shibata for the pay per view. They did sign this, but it was on the tailgate brawl. Go ahead and say now it was a pretty good match. I thought it was all right.
I imagine
Pretty
Garcia won
Garcia, yeah,
probably.
Garcia took the win. Don't really like how they're making Shibata take L's so much that we need to kind of fix that.
Yeah, like the dude is he's that dude. Like, why are you having him take so
Yeah,
many L's?
right. He is that guy, man.
He
Like
is that
really.
guy. He's the wrestler.
Yeah,
There's only
literally.
one, and it's him.
He's the only wrestler. Max is like, I'm the best wrestler alive, and Shibata's like, I'm the only wrestler. But then we got our main event, the last of the four-way ladder qualifiers, with Josh Alexander and Hechicero versus Top Flight. Um, This was a really good match, man. And
Me
Top
too. I
Flight got a
liked it.
lot more work in than I thought they were gonna, to be perfectly
Yeah.
honest.
I'll tell you what, they may have taken the loss here, but Top Flight looked a lot better, like they were in a lot better position than they had been prior to joining Skyfall.
Yeah.
Like they look like especially the opening minutes of this match really showcased that with Darius and Hechicero going hold for hold, doing some great Tekker stuff. Like Darius can hold his own.
Yeah, Darius was really getting after it with Hechicero. I was literally like,
Yeah,
and Josh Alexander, and I was
I was really
surprised and
impressed. Like
happy.
usually
Yeah.
Darius, everybody gravitates towards Dante,
Yeah.
partially because of his spectacular offense, partially because of his hair, and partially because Dante's always injured, leaving Darius or Darius is always injured, leaving Dante to kind of keep the flame burning for them.
Yeah.
But like Dante, I was glad that he started this match off the way he did because like it allowed him to show what he's capable of. He's the quieter one of the two, and so this allowed him to kind of show out a little bit. I was
Yeah.
I was really happy for
Yeah. Now that said, I didn't think they were gonna win this. I knew somebody from the Don Callis family was going to be in this four-way ladder match, so I pretty much knew they were going to win. However, it was a great match. But Ejicero pulls out the win with a guillotine head scissor bomb.
Yeah, I love that move. I'm
It
glad that
was
he's using
cool,
that as a
man.
finisher now. I'm
Yeah, he
glad that he's
should.
using that as a finish now because it's nobody does that except him.
No, but that
It's
came
unique to
that
him.
came amidst a lot of distractions from the Don Callis family. So immediately after the match, we've got the family and Skyflight just tearing each other up. But then the Young Bucks showed up, Jet Speed shows up, Brodito shows up, like pretty much all four of the teams that are coming in. Um, Everybody kind of fought to the back while Lance Archer and Rocky Romero were picking Christopher Daniels apart in the ring. And here's where I figured out how they were going to get Hangman to come out because they're picking
Yeah.
apart Christopher Daniels.
Yep, which is why they had him show up in that promo earlier. If he
Yes.
had said nothing, he would not have gotten his ass
Right.
kicked.
But so Hangman comes out, and of course, it's a trap. And they set up a
Yep.
table and they basically do the same thing with the brain buster that they did to Kenny 2 weeks ago
Oh
before
yeah.
this. 2 weeks
Yep.
before this. Yeah. So I mean, total downer ending because man, poor Hanger.
Ooh.
How is he ever
Yeah.
going to win this match? But it did too. But the show was really great. But the
Yeah.
ending definitely told me like I was like Hanger's going to win this match on Saturday.
Oh, totally. Like, I mean, I
Totally.
didn't really think that they were going to switch it this soon anyway, especially to somebody who already had a belt.
Yeah.
But like, this is your, how for a long time the Royal Rumble as an event felt like it was an experimental show
Yeah.
because the selling point was the Rumble itself, so you could like do weird things with the title match and kind of kind of experiment a little bit, keep the title on the champion against an unorthodox a challenger they normally wouldn't face or whatever. Like
Yeah. Like a
I
face
think
versus
one,
face thing or something like that.
like
Like,
Brock Lesnar defended the WWE title against Hardcore Holly at a Royal Rumble once. Like, it's that kind of thing. CM Punk, I think, defended it against Dolph Ziggler, you know, Mr. Undercard, well,
yeah.
mid card. So like it it felt like that. It felt like that. It was the all out feels like that. It's kind of that show. The second year in a row where the world champion defends against the TNT champion in a match that nobody really expects the TNT champion to go over.
Yeah.
Although this year's, I hate to say this about Bryan Danielson because he is the greatest of all time, in my opinion. He's the best wrestler to ever walk God's green. But his match with Jack Perry last year was a snore. Like
Okay.
they had like no chemistry and he sold way too much for Jack Perry. And Jack Perry did hard he should have been cheating the entire time. The entire time. Because he was in there with Bryan Danielson.
Yeah.
Instead, Danielson tried to make him look like a credible threat when nobody considered him.
No.
and not to the world title anyway. Like, he was getting a little bit of cred for how much of a beating he would take in these hardcore situations. Like in Blood and Guts, he took a battering.
Yeah.
He got set on fire by Darby Allin. He was coming across as a kid who could take a ludicrous beating, but not somebody who could really dish it out in the same kind of way. And
Yeah.
that match was designed to try to attempt to do that, but it didn't work because his heel offense just isn't good enough. He's great as an underdog babyface. He's great as an underdog babyface. And who knows, now that he's spoiler alert, now that he's back in a babyface role, but still has that kind of scapegoat edge to him, maybe he can put together the edge from his heel persona and add it to his babyface offense and maybe come up with something that's greater than the sum of its parts. Who knows? Have
Hopefully.
yet to see. I hope so. I've got high hopes for him. He's been gone for 11 months. I would love to see him incorporate that stuff. It's clear that he has a very active mind. uh,
Yeah.
but like this match, the main event of this show, oh cow! Like we'll get there, like I said, but like, whew, blows that one out of the water
Yeah.
completely, unequivocally blows it out of the water. Do like I said, due respect to Brian Danielson, who I hold in very, 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 very high esteem. But like that one, this was it.
Yeah.
But before we do that, got to get through everything else that happened on that show. Uh,
Yes. And we will start with the beginning of the pay-per-view. Well, first of all, we talked a little bit about the women's hardcore match from the tailgate thing. It was fun. Faces won. Um, we talked a little bit about Daniel Garcia beating Katsuyori Shibata. We also saw Samoa Joe and Powerhouse Hobbs take on the Workhorsemen for some reason and just beat the shit out of them.
hmm,
Poor guys. And
they got a
then
payday.
Hologram and Roderick Strong and Kyle O'Reilly took on the Frat House. And oh my God, I did not know they were called the Frat House. But I was like, why are there 15 guys roaming around outside the ring with red solo cups? It's like a fucking frat party out there.
And there it
There it
is.
is.
I honestly kind of like the gimmick.
This
Like
is the guy that
it's
talks about Titty City, though, right? Isn't this the
yeah,
Titty
but
City
here,
guys?
no, 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 no.
One of them is
There.
the main
Well,
mic guy is the
the
Titty City guy.
he well, he's not with the Iron Savages anymore, but
Yeah, they
he
got
he
booted or
is
something.
Jack Jameson is who you're talking about, and he's a dork. He's
Mhm.
he's he's not like a good wrestler at all. He's a body guy. That's about
He
it.
is the 40-year-old
Who's
guy who still hangs out at frat parties.
yes, which is why the gimmick works.
Okay,
Is because
fair
you
enough.
absolutely want to see that guy get punched in the face.
Yes.
They
Yes, I do.
are lower card heels meant to be fodder, an entertaining, you know, a bunch of D bags that you want to see get beaten up, and they do it well. And I mean, if that's the job, then that's the job, and
Yeah.
I can't fault them for doing the job.
No. Now, past all that, we get to the beginning of the and I did not, for the life of me, think we were going to get Christian Cage and Copeland versus FTR right off the hop.
Well, I did. Like, if it wasn't going to be in the main event, it was going to open the show, get that crowd
Good.
hot. That
Um,
being said, the crowd was hot, but
well,
Scotiabank Arena, the acoustics in that place are not good.
no, they're not. They're not.
They are not good.
Now, first of all, now I don't know if you watched Trailer Park Boys, so I don't know if you got any of
I had
this.
to look it up.
Okay, so I'll explain it to those of you the uninitiated. Your boy Aaron is a Trailer Park Boy. I fucking love that show. My favorite Canadian export. That's not named Mercules. Um,
Or Bret the Hitman Hart.
or Bret the Hitman Hart. But really, like as far as like outside of wrestling entertainment goes, and even a little bit now in wrestling, um, $10 says this backstage segment shows up on the show, and the other two guys from the show are not there because they've been arrested for smoking dope.
Hmm.
I'm serious. Like that. That's probably the likely scenario of the episode that was probably filmed around this. That's going to come out later. But Bubbles is like this character in the trailer park of this show that has been abandoned by his parents in a shed. And he's lived in this shed for like 37 years, but he's the like only true-hearted person in the whole show. In a world of scumbags and assholes, he's the only one with like a real heart and is just like a genuinely good person. So Bubbles is like everybody's favorite. Bubbles has an alter ego. When he gets picked on too much, he become or when he's wrestling like backyard wrestling, he's the green bastard from Parts Unknown, and he's like a particularly vicious wrestler. He's not very good, but he's mean as shit. So Bubbles showing up, and then and I was like, he's saying, "I know a guy." He means the green bastard, and I'm freaking out the whole time. I'm marking out. I'm like, "Fuck yes!" I swear to God, if the green bastard shows up during their match, I'm gonna shit my pants. He didn't, but they did turn around from Bubbles, and there was the green bastard, who obviously also is Bubbles.
I
And
mean, yeah, he was
it,
in some green outfit.
yeah,
Yeah,
and this was like I don't know who the hockey guy was that they met before that, but I'm sure there's some hockey fans out there who are like, "Oh my god, hell yeah!"
yeah.
I'm a huge Trailer Park Boys fan. This was a big moment for me. I thought it was great. I also like did not know that Adam Copeland was a Trailer Park Boys fan, which is fucking rad. um, but I think it's a fucking hilarious show. It really is funny. It's like a faux reality show. It's really some funny shit. But it's all about like these guys who live in a trailer park and try to grow dope, but always get caught by the cops. Like that's pretty much the whole synopsis. But it's funny.
All right.
But yeah, so that was really funny. But let's get into the match because holy crap! Like yes, you're right. The crowd was hot, but this match proved very quickly, as hot as that crowd was, that the fucking acoustics in that place are terrible.
Yeah. Like you could see them reacting. And
Yeah,
when they were really loud, you could hear it. But if they weren't really, really loud, it felt like the Tokyo Dome. It
yeah,
was just like it was quiet.
yeah,
And it was like I know I can see that they're into it.
yeah.
Like I know they're into it. They're hot. This is Toronto. This is one of the best wrestling cities on earth. There's no
Hmm.
way that they packed this place and they're not into it.
No, they were into it for sure.
Yeah. So
Um,
and they were up to the bleeders too.
oh
Like
yeah, dude, that
they're
place was packed. That now
yeah,
personal experience running tours across Canada. I know for a fact that is like a 25 or 30,000 seat arena
yeah.
with a wrestling setup. Probably still pretty close to 25, 30,000 seats.
Let's look it
So
up. Scotia Bank Arena.
Scotiabank Center, pretty sure it's actually a hockey arena.
Yeah, well, it must be with all the Maple Leaf stuff that was in the
Oh yeah,
hallway
yeah, it's the
there.
Maple Leafs arena. Okay, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
We ran it. I think Snoop Dogg at that place. But
So for basketball, it's 20,511 with standing room. For theater, 5,200. So there's your range. Five.
there's a theater in a different part of the
Oh,
like it's a
oh,
campus.
okay.
There's several
So
venues in there. But
hockey or
basketball and hockey
lacrosse,
is what we're looking for.
hockey and lacrosse is 18,800 or 20,270 standing
Okay,
room.
so it was probably the
Concerts is
20,000
19,000.
setup.
Concerts is 19,800.
Okay, so I'd say it's probably a hybrid hockey concert setup considering all the equipment involved. So yeah, we're probably looking around 20, 25,000. Probably I would say probably closer to 20. But yeah, that
Yeah.
I mean you could cram a lot of people in that fucking arena.
They didn't announce a count
No, they didn't.
for
But I mean, they
us.
don't really need to. They had a full arena. You don't have to announce
Yeah.
a count. Just show a panning shot, which they
Yeah.
did a couple of times, and it was full.
Yeah.
No bullshit.
Every seat was
Yeah,
set
every seat was
was
full that I could
sat
see.
in so far as I saw.
Yeah. Now, um, this match though was pretty good for what I expected because I honestly
Yeah.
like I love Cope, but I don't expect a lot out of him these days. Um,
Yeah.
he is
I
on the
mean,
north side of
he's
the business.
yeah. And Cage, now that he's turned heel a few years ago, he's not like workhorse guy anymore. He's a heel.
Yeah,
He's a cheap, cowardly heel. Like he
yeah,
can have great matches. Like the match he had with Swerve last year was fantastic
yeah,
when it had no right to be. Like there's no reason that Christian Cage should have been Swerve's first world title challenge,
yeah,
but he was, and the match was great with a sick ending.
yeah.
Um, but
Now,
like,
despite being a cowardly heel, he did take the majority of the heat in this match.
yeah, yeah, he was
Yeah,
definitely Ricky Morton in the match.
yeah.
Um,
Um,
but yeah, like I mean, that was everybody was kind of. I can't be alone in saying that that's kind of how I thought it would go, right? Like
yeah,
Edge is the
yeah.
one who's going to get the hot tag here.
Edge is going to get the
Hope.
hot tag.
Yeah.
It might
Uh,
be a little slow going because Dax is probably going to do a lot of the offense, but Dax has a broken nose, so he can't breathe right now.
yeah.
And I mean, all of the things that I thought were going to happen basically happened. Like I was like, Dax is moving a
I
little
think
slow
this
because
is
he can't breathe.
the first time I've ever seen Christian execute a sharpshooter, and it was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought I was like, oh, he must have asked Windsor how to do it
Mhm.
because it
Now
looked exactly like hers.
we also had our obvious like I want to say tributes to former opponents because they did like a Matt
Yes.
Hardy v1 thing. They tried to do a twist of fate, and I guess they were trying to do a twist of fate to Swanton,
Yeah. Yeah, that's
and
what it looked like they were setting up.
I
But he,
I somehow knew that was going to get buffed up because I was like Edge is not about to do a Swanton.
he's not gonna do a swanton
uh,
bomb. Get out of
but
here.
Edge did run the five moves of doom on
Yeah.
Cash, I think. I mean, you can't
Yeah.
see me and everything, which I was like, I mean,
I
well,
did
he did
not.
fight the guy for like 10 years straight. I mean, you
And
figure,
they had their TLC match in that building.
mm,
That was that was a great show. That was fantastic. That was the same show that Trish Stratus retired at.
okay, okay.
I remember, but it was my year off campus in college, and I remember, I only had like two or three friends who were into wrestling, but were like, "Can I, come on, we need to get this pay per view. It's Trish Stratus's last match," but it
Yeah.
also had this on the card, and it was just Ed should have gone over in his hometown, but he didn't
Oh no, that's not the way of Vince.
because that's not the way in WWE.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like the funniest. I didn't mind the tribute to Cena. Two things though. One, I never thought I would hear an AEW crowd of any city chant Cena, Cena, Cena. In a
Yeah.
million years did I ever think that was going to happen. Secondly, I thought it was hilarious how they didn't, the commentary team didn't say a thing during this whole thing.
No, they didn't say
They're
nothing.
like, we're not touching that, except
No.
for Brian Danielson, who doesn't care. Oh, you know, paying homage to one of his greatest rivals in his entire career.
Yeah.
Like Brian Danielson can do what he wants.
Yeah.
Can I? Oh, that brings up Brian Danielson was amazing this
Oh
entire
yeah. All
show,
night, dude. All night.
but I I think he needs to dial it back from an 11 to like a 9 because at a certain point in the night it did become distracting
I disagree.
because he was
I disagree.
overshadowing the actual analysis guys and the actual color guy.
I
It's like,
mean,
is this the Brian Danielson show on commentary?
it is now.
Like,
Get used to
I
it.
mean, I don't want it to be that at the expense of the other people you know, who are there. It's a team effort, but
um,
I will always appreciate his enthusiasm because it's like he's commentating it, with the benefit of 20 years of knowledge and experience, but also as a fan, like the way that he commentates is very much like a fan would, like you or I would, with
yeah.
the excitement level, with the just and that's so valuable. It's so valuable. It sucks you in.
Yeah. Now the match was good but typical until Stokely tries to pull the referee and then unfamiliar music hits, and this is my biggest pop like of the beginning of the show for sure because Beth Phoenix shows up, and
Yeah,
they of course call her Beth Copeland because I guess they can't call her Beth Phoenix, which
yeah.
is stupid. But let's say two things. Me and my wife both agreed first off that she has not aged a fucking day,
Not a day.
not a
Not
day.
a day.
But second, that spear that took out Stokely was one of the most satisfying moments in recent wrestling
Yeah, it was
history.
great. Then she
Christ, yeah.
hoists him up on her shoulders and takes him to the back.
And
And
takes him to the back.
I don't
Now,
know, maybe puts him in a meat locker. We don't know what happened to him.
probably, I'm kind of
You
hoping
don't see
next
him
week
for
we
the
get
rest
a
of the.
vignette where like some random venue employee like unlocks the door and is like, "What are you doing in here?" And Stokely's like, "What day is it?" And they're like, "It's Wednesday." And he's like, "Damn it!"
I have been
Like,
holding my shit in for 3 days. Like,
no, it'd be funny if he didn't. He's like, "You got something to take care of in there," and just bounced or something, like. Um, Now,
This is why you've got no hose.
now this is where the match kind of, turned. We're going home at this point.
Yeah.
Um, FTR, they hit a shatter machine, but Copeland reverses it to and impalers both of them. Um, they try to hit another shatter machine and get it blocked. And Cage trips Harwood up. Wheeler turns around and gets the spear. And that's it. One, two, three. Now, here's where it turns from a fun match that everybody's gonna love in Toronto into a fucking blood feud.
Yeah. Which it already was kind of approaching,
It
to be
was, yeah, it
fair.
was approaching, but this really took it over the top. And so trigger warning, domestic violence, folks.
Uh, Mother Wayne's music hits first.
Yeah.
I didn't know she had music,
I didn't either.
but
Oratron.
it's her name on the Tron, which, by
Yeah.
the way, the setup was awesome too.
Yeah.
The stage was great.
Yes, it was.
Really, really enjoyed the setup of the asymmetrical
The
look
offset
of it.
screens and everything.
Yeah, it
Yeah, I
was
thought it was really cool, man.
fantastic. Really, really cool.
Very different. I
Uh,
liked it.
but yeah, she comes out with Nick, who's in a wheelchair, but he's got the boot on his broken foot. But that only serves as a distraction as FDR blasts Cage and Cope from behind. Kip Sabian just kind of he's not there on the stage, so you assume he came through the crowd or something. He just materializes, teleports
Yeah,
in
he just like
there,
appears like he can.
and handcuffs Copeland to the rope, to the bottom rope.
Yeah.
Uh, Cage tries to fight off FTR, but he gets spike pile driver. He's laid out. Beth has been trying during that whole thing. Beth has been trying desperately to get these handcuffs off her husband. Oh, this is a great character moment.
Man, it was.
So good for her.
She just
So
turns
good
around and
for this
starts taking
feud.
the
She
whooping to
well,
their ass.
first she looks at Ed. She looks at Copeland. She looks at Adam. She looks behind her, sees what's behind her, immediately accepts the situation for what it is, says "I love you" to her husband, and turns around and comes out swinging.
Oh yeah.
And it looks like she's holding her own for a little while too. But then they give her the spike pile driver,
Oh man,
and
and here's where it turns to a blood feud
it
right
looks
here.
amazing
Oh, it
too.
did. It looked great,
She
but
took the Oh my god, she took that as well or better than anybody I've ever seen take that
mm,
spike pile
when I
driver.
say I got emotional
Such
this
a
weekend,
pro.
though, right here, you don't put your fucking hands on his wife. Oh my God, what
Yeah,
did you two just do? This is like
yeah.
this. When I watch wrestling like this, I suspend my disbelief completely. The analyst part of me comes later when I'm reviewing my notes and like rewatching certain parts of matches and stuff like that. That all comes later. The me that watches these shows initially, and most of the reaction y'all get is I have suspended my disbelief. Wrestling is real and you don't lay your hands on a man's wife, and now this is a fucking blood feud, and now we're gonna get a TLC match out of this.
I mean, that should have been here. Like
It
it
should have
really should
been.
have been. They did give the Toronto crowd a little well, a big taste of that action with the tag
Yeah,
belt out. But so there was compensation
yeah,
for this not being that. But you're right. You have to do it.
hmm
You've got to do it. Um, so yeah, I mean, I foresee at least one pay per view where it's FTR, Nick Wayne, and Kip Sabian versus uh Coping Cage and Jurassic Express.
that's what I was thinking too. That
I
Jurassic
think
Express is gonna get
you
involved in this somewhere.
prolong that by putting that like right in the middle
Yeah,
because these are still overlapping. They're still interweaving storylines. So
yeah,
I think you do that. No, spoiler alert for later on. Huh? Jurassic
yeah,
Express comes back. We'll explain it in due time. Um, but yeah, well, I thought this was going to be the blow off. So I was really really happy when they did this. I'm like, oh, we're going to get more. Awesome.
yeah. It's
Yes,
about to get
do it.
way
If you're
crazier.
not going to put the belts on FTR, have them in being something meaningful like this.
Yeah,
You gotta do it.
yep,
Um, but yeah, I thought that was it wasn't a perfect match, but it was a great opener. I thought it was really exactly the right thing to open the show.
yeah. After that, we've we're keeping on with the big moments. We've got the return of Eddie Kingston against Big Bill, and Um, the here's where it proves to me like, unequivocally the acoustics sucked because this pop should have
Oh,
taken the roof off of that building and it just didn't.
yeah. You can see them wilding out.
Oh yeah, you can see the whole crowd going crazy, but you can't hear shit.
Yeah. You
Um,
can see his reaction to it too.
yeah,
So you know it was massive. You know it was a huge deal.
yeah,
But yeah, like I really wish that the acoustics in that building were better.
yeah,
Like I'm glad they got to fill an arena of that size and show off. But I and for so many other reasons, I'm glad they were here. Most notably, so that Cope and Christian could be in Toronto again, and to
yeah,
get guys who are from Canada on a show in their home country. Like there's so many reasons that I'm glad they went here, but this is one reason I really wish they had because
yeah,
that crowd deserved to be heard, and it really, really, oh, it was so disappointing that they couldn't be
yeah,
because Toronto's such a great wrestling city.
yeah,
It really, really is, and like it's right up there with New York and Toronto, like it or New York and Chicago. Like it's some of the best wrestling towns in the world, and
yeah,
yeah, it just I felt bad for them because they had no idea that they weren't being heard on TV, that
yeah.
and it was not their fault.
Now
But yeah,
this match
uh,
was. I mean, Eddie comes out the Claudio sucks egg shirt, so obviously he's still pissed off at Claudio. So there's our in
yeah,
for the Death Riders. Um, besides this, lore with John Moxley. Um, this match was pretty much what I expected it to be, though. Eddie's fighting from underneath pretty much the entire time
yeah,
until he gets the win. Um,
a lot of
now,
ring rust, you
now
know.
we got to talk about the elephant in the room.
Yeah,
That
like,
fucking finish, man. Like,
ooh,
I'm not very
yeah,
critical about a lot of this night, but that finish, man, like you, he missed him by a mile. They should not have gone home on that. It
if
it
they were
kind
gonna
of
shoot,
ruined
if
it.
they were gonna go home on it, they should have not replayed it so you could
Yeah,
see how off the mark it was.
yeah. The replay,
Why
Shivani
would
just
you
being
do
like he
that?
missed.
Why would
Like
you do
I
that?
don't know. Like I
Oh,
would have hit the mute button on Shivani, no replay, just let it play out, and be like,
yep,
oh, he caught him on the bottom of the jaw. But
yeah,
not how it went. And really the only big problem with this night altogether, like was this. That
yeah.
one thing. And
The match wasn't bad, but it wasn't
no,
good. It
no, it
was
wasn't
mid.
great. It was all right.
You know, there
Yeah.
was a lot of ring rust, and Big Bill can. I mean, as cool as he is, and as charismatic as he is, limited as to what he can do.
Yeah.
Um, Good for Eddie for getting him up for that exploder
Yeah, a couple of times.
a couple of
Like
times.
crazy, man.
Like that
Yeah.
to me, that was the highlight of the actual match itself.
Yeah.
Like what happened, the real highlight was afterward.
Yeah.
He gets the win with a Phantom Hurricane, and
Coach fart.
uh, then Brian Keith hits the ring and starts putting the boots to him, and then all of a sudden the lights go out and the hook signal goes up,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh, this make. And I was like, hook. Oh, they're both New York boys. This immediately makes sense.
Yeah.
Hook said in
Easily makes sense.
his last thing said, maybe I'm done running with the crew, or maybe I'm not.
Or maybe I'm not.
He's
Yeah.
he's just running with a different crew,
Yeah.
and I like that idea. I do worry that it's going to delay what should be an immediate confrontation with the Death Riders.
The Death Riders are the ones who put Hook out, aren't they? So I don't think
Maybe,
it'll
yeah,
delay that.
that's true, but maybe, yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe you're right.
Yeah. I
Maybe
mean, I think
it
maybe that
won't.
might be the goal, between the two of them,
Yeah, possibly.
which but
I
that just
hadn't considered
depends.
that.
That like,
I
all kind of depends on how, if we see John Moxley again anytime soon. We'll talk about that. Uh,
yeah, but
um,
yeah, he puts the red rum on Brian Keith, and walks out with Eddie Kingston, who like gives him like a hair ruffle. And he's like, "Yeah, I love this kid."
yeah,
Like, oh, this is gonna be great comedy.
yeah,
This is
it
gonna
probably
be
will be.
great.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what they do with this. Um, After that, we have our newly unminted light heavyweight champions because, of course, he didn't beat Mystico for his
No,
mask.
no. I heard the match
MJF,
was incredible.
it was.
Yeah.
It was.
How do
I
you
went and sought
bloody
it out.
somebody up from when they're wearing a mask?
Yeah,
How do
it
you do
was.
that? That's an, I mean, that in and of itself is enough to make me want to see it. It's like,
No, dude,
how do you
it's
do
great.
that?
Go watch it. Like, go find it.
Yeah.
And yes, I sought it out. I found it on like a pirate today somewhere. I don't know how to watch CMLO,
Yeah.
so I just found it on one of my sites. I was like, oh, hey, look, there it is. Um, but so now it's MJF no title versus Mark Briscoe in a
I was
tables and tax
disappointed.
match.
I was
And
disappointed that they didn't mention that he lost the belt.
no, they didn't say anything about it.
They said that he
I found
oh
out
you know
afterwards.
this is he flew in from Mexico today. He was at the anniversary show, but they didn't say anything about what he was doing there. They didn't
Yeah,
mention
they
any.
said Dorada did it, but they didn't say he did it.
Yeah, like what what like come
Yeah.
on. Like
Um.
honestly mentioning that he lost to rival Mystico with the mask on the line and with the title on the line, and losing the belt would have set the stage for him to be seen in a different light heading into this match. It would have made him seem extra nasty and extra
Yeah.
bitter and extra ready to whoop some ass. Like,
Yeah.
but they dropped the ball in delivering that message. I feel.
Yeah. Now, like we said earlier, we were not excited about this match.
No,
This match immediately changed that very
yeah,
quickly. First of all, by Mark Briscoe taking 4 buckets full of tacks and spreading them all around the ring. I was like, holy fuck, this is going to be awful.
it was so good too. It was so smart. You want to talk about wrestling psychology? Here's wrestling psychology. The bell rings. Immediately, MJF powders. Right? He's like,
Yeah.
I'm not going to
No,
deal with
no.
this. You're on my time.
This is
So
classic wrestling
each
psychology, man.
yes, and then Mark Briscoe, who sees the 4 buckets of tacks, one in each corner, he lines the inside of the ropes where he would step in to get it back into the ring with the tacks. He goes the entire perimeter so that no matter where he goes, he has to be in the tacks to get back in. That's wrestling psychology.
Yeah. But the whole
That's psychology.
sequence here where I mean this is like wrestling 101. The whole like how can you build a crowd reaction for one slam?
Yeah.
And here this
That's
was a
about as old school as it
textbook
gets.
yeah, that
Yeah.
is a it's yeah, where the heel would just run around the ring and powder and get between the ropes and do all that stuff for 20 freaking minutes before he ever got slammed. And that one
I
simple
remember
body slam was like the biggest thing.
I remember seeing an AWA world title match. Zabisco was it was Zabisco, I think, was defending. And this was on one of those old ESPN shows, right? The Zabisco was one of the last AWA title holders before the promotion. It was on its way out. It was dying. And he was a great champion, but
Yeah.
he was doing the powder thing and he did it for like 8 solid minutes, like in and out, in and out, in and out, working the 10 count. That crowd was rabid by the time he got in. And he took one body slam, and the whole roof came off the building.
Yeah.
It was like that, except there were thumbtacks. So it was even worse.
Yeah. But yeah, they built it up for like so long on that first slam, but after that, it was
Yeah, I mean, once you
weapons
open the
free,
floodgates, I
dude.
mean,
God,
you can't keep ringing the towel there, you
I
know?
just kept marveling at how many different places they just had tags hanging out,
In the
like
backs
the
of their
back of
heads.
Mark Briscoe's fucking head, dude.
I saw some in MJF's hair too.
Yeah, there was some in MJF's
Uh,
hair. There was a solid like 3 minutes of this match my wife would not watch. She
I
would just
thought
not
this
watch it,
match
and
was
I
going to be
understood, you know,
I thought this match was going to be the drizzling shits,
and it was
and it
not.
turned out to be the shit.
Yeah,
Like
like the tags, the tables, like everything was great. But so, oh god, every time they did something in the ring,
they had a
I was just like, oh my god,
yeah.
ugh.
There was that chair that Briscoe had covered in
Oh, that
tacks.
fucking chair.
Oh
I knew something was coming out covered in tags. I didn't expect it to be a
yeah,
chair. I thought it might be a table, but like, oh my god,
yeah.
that. I
the
didn't.
the fi
Oh,
the finish comes when after they've beaten each other brutally and bloodily to the point, and they're both wearing white because of course they are. But
yeah.
MJF is even wearing white pants, and it makes it there.
Oh, he's
Let's just
covered.
say there were jokes in my house, uh, and
Yeah.
we'll leave
Okay.
it at
There was
that.
one point where I know exactly what you're talking about, and yeah, there was a joke in my house too.
There were jokes in my house. Uh, my wife gave me one of these side eye looks. She's like, Adam. And I'm like, I had to get one out. Like if he was gonna go that whole match looking like that, I couldn't not. I
Right.
couldn't not. I had to get one. Uh, but yeah, like let's just say, uh, yeah, like he shouldn't have worn white.
Yeah.
Let's just say he shouldn't have worn white for that if he was going to have Mark Briscoe's bloody head between his legs at any point in
At any
time.
point in the match. Yeah.
Uh,
Um, but yeah,
I mean,
Briscoe gets like,
at least now we know why MJF was in such a pissy mood.
no shit. Like, oh,
Uh,
this makes sense, like,
yes, it makes total sense.
but yeah, Briscoe
But
gets
the
two
finish,
froggy bows.
yeah, one
But
was the first one was more impressive
yeah,
because they were fighting on the top rope. Uh, Briscoe kicks MJF off, and so he's standing in front of a setup table in the ring, and
yeah,
so he goes to hit the bow while MJF is still standing, who jumps into it and swings his legs out so that he goes through the table the right way.
yeah.
But in the process, he still lands on the tacks that are underneath
Because
the
they're
table.
everywhere. They're so they're
They're
so
still
everywhere.
everywhere,
They're
literally
everywhere.
everywhere. Bryce Remsburg posted on Blue Sky a picture of the soles of his shoes from the ends of this
Oh, dude, I bet they
match.
were. I've had tacks in the ring before, and I had to pull
There
tacks out of
was
my shit for weeks.
there were there was like no black left to be seen from the soles of his
Oh
shoes.
yeah, I'm not
It was
surprised.
it was nuts, absolutely nuts. And then the second one was, I mean, the second one was the Froggy Bow, but it was also in the tax. But that's not it
No,
because he picks him up and spikes him down, and for the record, in the process, takes a full butt bump into the tax with the J driller, and
that
then
J Driller that
covers
he's
him.
been looking for months
Yes,
too, man.
yes.
Oh
So you knew that it was over at that point.
yeah,
You knew that it was over at that point because they had set up. He couldn't hit the J driller on him for months. He
yeah,
finally did it into a whole thing of tax after two froggy bows, and MJF takes the loss.
yeah. Big ol' L. No, when
Big
he hit that
L.
J Driller, I said if he kicks out of this, I'm gonna lose my fucking mind. Tony Khan is getting an angry email.
Yeah.
But then I was like,
This
no, there's no way he kicks out of that.
this has to go down. His ROH title win notwithstanding. This has to go down as probably his biggest win
Oh yeah,
as a singles competitor in AEW at least.
yeah.
Like this should move him up the card
Oh yeah, definitely should.
significantly. I would probably put him as at least a soft favorite to win the Continental Classic this year,
I would
coming
hope
off
they
the
would give
heels
him
of
a really
this.
good standing in it this year after the last 2 years of eating shit and smiling on that stuff. You
Yeah,
know?
the first one he was the one. I think he only got one win, and I think he got two or
Yeah.
three wins last year.
Yeah.
So this year, I think coming off the heels of the momentum of this should be a win for Mark Briscoe. If I was booking it now, there are a couple other guys who are in the mix, but I would at least tentatively put Mark Briscoe in the winner's slot for the
Yeah.
C2 this year,
Yeah.
coming off
And
of this because the timing is just perfect for it.
yeah. Now we want to know what's going on next with him, and we'll find out later for sure.
Yes.
Now after that we have we go back to I guess a couple days ago at after Dynamite. We've got Lexi Nair. She's chasing down Anthony Bowens, Max Caster, and Jerry Lynn. Anthony Bowens and Max Caster are still fighting. Um, but Jerry Lynn basically belts out like he just tells them to shut up, and he's like, "Hey, look, I got you two guys a tag match," and they were like, "We're not doing it," and he's like, "Well, you can do it, or you can not show up to work and get suspended." And
Yeah.
then they just kind of keep fighting uh, after that, and Max kind of takes off in the middle of it, leaving Anthony
Yeah.
there alone and frustrated, and he just kind of walks off.
What I thought
Um,
about this too was interesting was that up to this point, Bowens had been turning heel. In this, he was very much the baby face. He was the baby face in this segment. He defended Alicia Atout in the way Max was treating her and everything. Like it's like, okay, all right, this is happening, I guess. The only thing I can think of, considering a lot of the moves that were made in the last week in AEW, is that Tony Khan is making it a priority to rebolster the tag team division.
yeah, I hope so. I
Because
mean, we need more.
like
I mean,
this is one of several moves that he's made over the last couple of weeks, really, that has been like, okay, he's he wants to put a greater focus on this now.
mhm,
I think probably because he wants to give CNC at least a short run, and he
hopefully,
wants to have credible challengers.
yeah.
So yeah,
After that, we have the Hurt Syndicate versus what they're now calling the Demand, which is just another. I don't like it.
it's it's not as bad as the Triangle of Madness.
No, I don't think it is, but it's still
It's
not
not
good.
as bad as, but it's not great.
No.
It could be better. They could have workshopped that. They
Mm,
could have. I do like the catchphrase, but I don't like it as the name of their stable.
yeah.
I do like that they look like a stable. They
I
all
do
came
like
out
that
wearing
too.
matching jackets and stuff like that, matching gear. I thought
Yeah.
they looked like a proper faction,
Hmm.
like proper trio. I think presentation is there. It's there now. Like
Hmm.
it wasn't before. It's there now.
And this was a really good match too. Like it was very
Yeah,
good.
this yeah, MVP was in this match for a long time. Like I was really impressed with how much he was in this match for somebody who doesn't wrestle all the time. And like I thought it was great. Like and you can tell that the demand, all three of them have a lot of respect for the guy because they sold like hell.
Oh yeah, yeah. They
Like
sold like crazy. Especially Ricochet taking the heat like all match.
the whole time.
Yeah, he was just getting his ass beat until the end there.
Yeah.
Um, but
But it pays off for him because he's the one who gets the pin. I
yeah,
did not think that Ricochet and the Gates of Agony were going to win this match. I thought Hurt
no,
Syndicate were going to win it all the way, and I was pleasantly surprised. This was probably the dark horse right here in terms of surprise endings. Like
yeah,
I'm okay with it though. I'm okay
yeah,
with it. Not for Ricochet's sake, for the record. Screw Ricochet, he's a piece of shit. But Gates of Agony, I like them.
yeah,
Like I love Ricochet's talent. I love his character, but he's a bad person. He's hanging out with Chase and Rance, people like
yeah,
that. Like get out of here. This is something that we need to reestablish apparently.
yeah, apparently.
But uh for Gates of Agony's sake, I'm really happy.
Yeah.
Really, really happy.
Um, Next up, we
But
had Mercedes Monet in a TBS Championship match defending against Riho.
dude,
I
this
watched
match
my
was
wife become
awesome.
a Riho fan during this match.
Yeah, dude, this match ruled.
It was good,
Like, yeah.
but
I was so glad to see Mercedes. Like we talked about earlier, Mercedes Monet is never the biggest person in the match ever, and this
no,
gave her that opportunity to kind of use what little leverage she normally doesn't have to her advantage and wrestle a little bit differently. I bet she had so much fun in this. She sold and bumped like a crazy person. She
oh,
landed on her
dude,
head so many times.
dude, yeah, her
This is
wig was
proper
definitely messed
Joshi
up.
crap.
Yeah, it was
And
a
I
Joshi
knew
match for sure.
and I called it. I called it that they would do it, that it was going to be proper Joshi stuff, and I was not disappointed.
No.
Um, the the whole story of this match was Riho wanted to get that half crab on her, but we didn't
Hmm.
know what we didn't know was how willing because when she beat Emi Sakura with it last, it was just a half crab. It was a figure four half crab, but
Yeah.
it was a half crab. This she like tested it out really early in the match. Mercedes got to the ropes,
Yeah.
but she applied it twice elsewhere in the match and went all the way back with it to the mat with
It looked
it.
brutal.
It looked like she was going to rip apart her legs from themselves. Like it
Mercedes was
was,
selling it like it was ripping her apart too, man. Like,
yeah,
oh god,
like
it was so
oh,
gnarly looking.
that see like half crab, not really all that. Due respect to Lance Storm, but not really all that impressive as a finish.
Hmm.
This thing that she pulled out, I'm like, no, I don't want to get caught in that, please.
No,
No,
not at all.
don't. No, no, please. Um, but yeah, like this was great. Mercedes was on the back foot for a lot of this match. Um, really the only times that she got ahead were because of stuff that happened on the outside. She
Yeah.
took advantage of her experience on, doing stuff on the outside, meteors and stuff like that, to turn the tide and then roll Riho back in, who would eventually take back the momentum, and then Mercedes would go to the outside again and reestablish that. Uh, but yeah, the end comes when Mercedes goes to the eyes. I mean, it was simple, but
Yeah.
the heel cheated to win.
Yeah.
Heels do that. She goes for the eyes, hits the lung blower, and for the first time ever, the moneymaker actually looks good because it was done on somebody who was smaller than her,
Yeah.
who could actually take the move and make it look good,
Yeah.
which is why I'm okay with that finish, because this is the only time it's ever going to look good ever. So you might as well take advantage of the fact and
Right.
do it here,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
So like she should retire that from now on, unless she plans on facing Riho in every match for the rest of her life. But yeah, no, this I thought the match was, it wasn't as good as her two with Stat, or the one with or her epic with Tony.
Yeah.
But it was real good.
Oh, it was really
Real,
good.
real good.
Yeah. Like I
Definitely
said,
seek it out.
I watched my wife live become a Rio fan, especially after
I
that
mean, how can
crucifix
you not
bomb.
love Rhea? How
But
can you not love Rhea?
no, well,
Like,
my
she's
wife does now.
adorable and she will kick your
Now I
ass.
gotta see. Now I gotta see if I can get this to work as an opening door to TJPW.
Mm. I'm not super familiar with it. I know they can go, but I don't know much about their
They just
roster
had
or
a Texas
history or
tour
anything.
that sold the fuck out.
A Texas tour,
Yeah,
that's
they came. They were here
great.
for like 7 days or something like that, and they killed.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Damn, I'm kind of jealous. I would have gone to one of those shows if they'd been in New York.
If I had known about them more than a couple of days before they happened, I would have too. But everything was at least Dallas or farther, and Dallas is 6
Oh
hours.
yeah, yeah. No.
So
Texas is enormous.
no, yeah, it's two or three whole countries.
Yeah.
Now after that we had our unified championship three-way match, and look, I'm gonna put the Takeshita and Kenosuke. I'm gonna put the Takeshita and Okada feud aside for a second. Holy fuck, Dorada!
Yeah.
Holy
we
fuck,
we alluded to it earlier, but
yeah.
like the story of this match was Okada and Takeshita desperately wanted to get their hands around each other's throats, and Dorada was like, "No, I won't be ignored," and used every available outlet to be creative with the ass kicking.
Hmm.
Like that was pretty much the whole match. It was them getting into it, Dorada getting involved and getting some offense in, them getting rid of him to the outside so that he could continue fighting amongst each other, rinse and repeat. But it
Yeah.
worked because everything that Dorada did was ludicrous. It was absolutely ludicrous.
Oh, dude, everything he was doing, I was just like, holy shit, this
Yeah.
fucking guy. And not only that, but like, this is 3 o'clock in the afternoon in Canada.
Well,
And he had been wrestling the night before at
it would have
7
been like
p.m.
by
in
this
New
point it
Mexico.
would have been like 5 o'clock, I think.
Yeah.
But
But he was wrestling the night before at 7 p.m. in Mexico City. And the
it
fact that he
wouldn't surprise me
performed
if he
at
got
that
on the
level,
plane. I wouldn't be surprised if he took a, a a taxi to the airport after, from Arena, Mexico.
He may have.
I don't doubt it.
Although with MJF also being there, it wouldn't have surprised me if Tony flew them. Although also,
Yeah, probably booked the flight for them. Yeah.
hmm
Like this match was just stupid good.
but the fact,
Like,
yeah, the fact that he like did that and then performed at this level,
yeah.
I was so super impressed with him, dude. Oh my god.
And
Like I
I
didn't even care
still,
about Takeshita and Okada for a second. Like it was in my mind, in the back of my mind,
yeah.
but like,
The whole
and I
point
knew he
of
wasn't gonna
this,
win,
yeah.
but
The whole point of this match being a three-way was so that you could have Okada and Takeshita in the same match, have Okada retain without beating Takeshita, but
yeah,
whetting your appetite for more, from something more definitive.
hmm
The third guy could have been anybody, but TK decided to put like one of the best luchadors on the planet in there simply as a showcase for him
yep,
and for CMLL, who he clearly values highly as
yeah,
a partner.
oh yeah,
Um, and like I definitely want to see more Takeshita and Okada. Like I
hmm
really that blue thunder bomb he hit.
off a
Kazuchika
Rainmaker.
Okada is a 6'3", 250 some odd pound man. And
Yep.
he whipped him around like he was Kikutaro. Like
Oh, dude,
it
yeah,
was insane. I had never seen anybody just manhandle the Rainmaker like that.
no,
Like it's crazy.
yeah, it was
Oh,
wild.
the finish was great. It was this whole big sequence, but at the end of it, Takeshita looks like he's in charge. He like just power bombs Okada like through the mat
Yeah,
and gives a power drive knee to Dorada. Uh, Okada catches the knee and hits him with a beautiful drop kick, and everybody's down. But they're trading strikes, and when he comes, like there's a whole bunch of stuff, but Okada basically takes advantage of uh, Takeshita being knocked out of the ring by Dorada. Or no, he knocks Ray. What was it? Shoot,
Okada knocks Takeshita out of the ring,
Okada
and
gets
then
Takeshita out of the ring and then covers him after Dorada had been hit by the no, the Raging Fire
yeah,
is what it was. He picks up the scraps with a deep pin with a just crazed look on his face.
yeah,
And then after the match, they freaking argue like while Don Callis is blissfully ignorant of the discord between them. Like he's just like everything. He's the dog in that cartoon. Everything's fine. His house is on fire and he doesn't realize it.
no, not at all. Takeshita and Okada are gonna burn down the Don Callis house.
I mean, let's be real here. Like that group has like 9 or 10 members in it. They could use some trimming.
Yeah, a little bit.
Uh, but
But
yeah,
after that, it
so
was time for the real sick shit.
oof, yeah.
And we
I
had the
thought
coffin match.
I thought the tax and tables match was sick. No,
No, it was just a
no.
prelude to sickness.
And
Um,
I am down with the sickness. Ooh,
so,
ah.
um, oh my god, dude! Like Darby Allin gleefully stabbing John Moxley in the head with a fork, and also
And
trying to tear off his earlobe with the same fork,
yeah. Well, I
and
mean,
biting him.
that's just payback for what he did to him at Forbidden Door.
Yeah,
So
that's
I mean,
true. But hey,
tit
Renee,
for
that
tat.
this is where
No.
Renee needs the 10K to rebuild John's ear because it's probably
Yeah.
falling off.
Yeah.
Um,
It probably looks like Mick Foley's here at this point.
Probably. But yeah, I mean, this match started with Darby Allin diving off of the freaking uh
Just
tunnel,
nowhere.
you know,
Yeah. Just from nowhere.
just yeah, just
Moxley's making his entrance and just Darby attacks him in the crowd. Like,
yeah,
oh,
like he just
okay.
shot out of a cannon, and here we go. And he immediately climbs up on top of the tunnel, and coffin drops off the tunnel,
Yeah.
and then it
Like,
just gets worse from there. And worse in a good way, I guess. So the Death Riders had their own coffin. Darby had his own coffin. I was thinking the whole time that there might be somebody in that coffin. But after he took a few
yeah,
bumps on
well,
it, I decided there probably wasn't anybody in that coffin.
Uh, yeah, like there was a whole bunch of just crazy, stupid stuff. The Death Riders come out. It's Yuta and Garcia and Claudio and Marina's already there, and they don't really do anything because Moxley makes a big show of sending them to the back so that he can finish this himself.
Hmm.
Um, which proves to be easier said than done because that's when Darby decides that, oh, I'm just gonna slam this on your hand, like
Yeah.
slam this coffin lid on your hands, both of them. Um, and I just a whole bunch of stuff. Like I know that I'm being general here, but like there's just so
Yeah, there
much
was so
brutality.
much. The one thing I did notice during this match is that, Darby's kind of setting up. It looks like he's trying to set up for to go home right before Pac shows up.
Who
And
I didn't even recognize at first.
he grabs that pipe and drops it in the coffin.
Yeah,
And I was like, something's going on there.
yeah. I didn't notice that, so I'm glad you did.
Yeah, I totally
But
noticed
yeah,
him. He picked up the pipe and
but
just dropped
yeah,
it in the coffin, real nonchalant like, but
yeah.
it happened.
But yeah, like after Moxley tells the Death Riders to go to the back, Darby, that's when Darby really starts pouring on the offense and just kicks the crap out of Moxley. Just
Oh yeah,
destroys him
we got
for
him
several
bleeding
minutes.
everywhere.
He hits a scorpion death drop. He tries to choke him with the pipe. Everybody's going for the eyes. Uh, Moxley eventually gets Darby into the coffin, but Darby blocks the lid. Moxley turns around, doesn't see it. He blocks the lid from going down with his hand that has the pipe in it. So it didn't go all the way down. So the match continues. And that's when he starts to choke out Moxley with it.
Yeah,
That's when he goes to the outside.
yeah,
And we find out what Brian Danielson had refused to elaborate on from the earlier talking segment. He refused to elaborate on what he told him on Wednesday, refused to elaborate on what he told him at the beginning of this match and all throughout it. But Brian Danielson, once they're both in his vicinity, reveals that he has a duffel bag, an AEW duffel bag, under under his seat, and he just kind of places it next to him nonchalantly, like with his hand under his chin. He's like, "Oh,
I wonder
and
what's in
Darby
there.
takes. Yeah, I don't know why you need a duffel bag, an entire duffel bag for one plastic bag to choke somebody out with, but we got one,
Yeah.
and it was cathartic, as sick as this is to say, to see John Moxley getting choked out, asphyxiated with a plastic bag after he had done that twice to Brian Danielson, with
Yeah.
Danielson freaking out on commentary and breaking bias to just to say, yeah, go get him, Darby, choke him
Yeah.
out. He chokes him out and he's about to put him in the coffin after a scorpion death drop. Uh, and a code red, I think, right? He hits a code red
Yeah.
with the bag still on his head.
Yeah. You have to cover
He
it with the bag.
and and that's when he takes his hands and starts kicking his head in like
Yeah.
Brian Danielson. And that's when, of all people, as you mentioned earlier, Pac is back. I didn't recognize him
I didn't either.
for
He
two
no
reasons.
hair.
More than that, he was wearing clothes.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's true. He wasn't in his
He
gear.
always walks around in full gear, which is
Yeah.
not much because all he wears are those little trunks and some kick pads.
This must
But
be
like I
his
didn't
Sunday
recognize
clothes.
him. Yeah, yeah. I mean, he hid in plain sight. He probably hid in the crowd somewhere for the entirety of this entire show, and people
Probably.
didn't notice him because he's invisible when he's wearing clothes because he never wears clothes.
Right. Like that can't be Pac. He's got clothes on.
Yeah, he's got clothes on. He's got no hair.
Yeah.
Like
Definitely
he
can't
he
be him.
looks like a little boy.
He's just a bloke with
He,
big
he
ears.
he's just a little boy. He's
He's
an angry little
a
boy,
wee
but he's a
baby.
little boy. But yeah, he's as angry as ever, and he destroys Darby by hitting him with a razor's edge from the inside of the ring all the way to the coffin on the floor.
Oh, cool.
It was disgusting.
It was so gross, man. Like I
It
had a hard
was,
time watching that bump.
oh, it was brutal.
Oh yeah.
And so Pac drags him back in the ring, places him in the coffin,
After
and
he puts him in a body
Moxley,
bag, he puts him
oh
in a
yeah, he puts
body
him in a
bag.
body bag, a green body bag, and he zips it up. He takes, he has trouble zipping him up, but he puts him in the body bag, puts him in the coffin, and Moxley, who can barely move at this point, kicks the lid closed for the win. And I, in the moment, hated it. I hated it because I'm like, no, no more Death Rider
Yeah.
stuff.
In the moment, I
No,
hated it, but in a little while, I didn't.
I'm like, no, I don't want this to continue. You're, you have Pac come back. You have Daniel Garcia added to the fold. Why are we have him win this match? Why are we doing this? I wanted that. There's no reason. Dissolve them, please. I'm begging you. I hated it. The match itself was amazing. In
Yeah.
the moment, I hated the finish. That would be rectified later in the show, though,
Yeah.
by what would happen. But
Sure.
oof, like my lord, like I'll tell you what though, Darby looked amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. He was killing.
Like, uh, what the other thing that I hated that they mentioned on commentary, but I hated it. Like Darby made Bryan Danielson promise not to get involved, but nobody else came to help Darby
Yeah. Nobody.
at all. Nobody. After all that Darby's done for literally everybody in the face of the Death Riders, nobody came out to help him. I don't care if they came out to get their asses kicked. Somebody should have come out.
Yeah.
Where's the
It's weird that we're still.
conglomeration?
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing?
It's weird that we're still doing this. Like the Death Riders get to beat up on one person at a time, and nobody comes. Like we're still doing this.
Like,
Nobody comes.
I thought we were past this. I thought the Avengers assembling it all in had fixed that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Like, it serves for the segment that they would do later
Mm,
because if anybody had helped him, you wouldn't have been able to have that moment. But
yeah.
I don't feel that moment that we're gearing up to was worth the visual of Darby being by himself in this.
Yeah.
All he had to say was in that interview with Bryan Danielson was to add a line about he didn't want help from anyone.
Yeah.
He singled out Bryan Danielson. He should have said, I don't want help from anybody. And then it would be like, okay, well, he told us not to go out there. Like, I don't like staying back here, but he told us not to, and I'm afraid he's going to do something crazy if we do.
Yeah.
So, because it's Darby, he would. So, still, and speaking of, Mark Briscoe's with the conglomeration after this, like all happy and stuff. It's like, Darbs, did you see what happened to Darbs? Why are you
Yeah.
so
Just
happy?
now. Like
Just
he's
now,
being
you could
pallbeared probably right past you right
you could
now.
have changed this. You should have changed this. You had
Like
hologram out there. You think he's not going to win?
yeah, right. Like well, Briscoe has an excuse to not have gotten involved. He was probably still picking tax out of himself, which
No,
Harley
no, no,
did
no, no.
help
He
him with.
doesn't. You know why? Because remember, he was in that ambulance match with
Oh
Ricochet,
yeah.
and he still came out and still helped out in that match later on in the show. So no, there is a pattern. There's an established history with Mark Briscoe in previous matches not mattering much. So I don't know. That's just my opinion. Anyway, the conglomeration, you know, Briscoe, who's actually finally back with the conglomeration after kind of doing a solo thing for like 3 months. Like apparently, oh, these are my friends again who I've not been in their business and they haven't been helping me with with MJF, but apparently we're still conglomerating. And I'm like, all right, you're a forgiving soul, I guess. Uh,
Yeah.
but he says that he wants to move forward. He wants that TNT title shot. He has to go through Don Callis' boys to do it. So he challenges Don Callis to get three of his guys ready for Dynamite because he's going to team up with Hologram, which means the baby faces are going to win. Spoiler. But if that wasn't enough, Kyle O'Reilly is there and he's on the phone with somebody and he's asked, is he ready to come back? And Kyle's like, yeah, whatever. Huge crowd noise. Everybody gives the half thumbs up. And I am peeing myself at
I
home
am so happy
watching
about
this. I'm
this.
so excited that Orange Cassidy is finally ready to return.
Yeah.
Put him in the Continental Classic.
Yeah.
There you go. You want somebody with a different style in that could go on a good run in a tournament. You put him in there, and you will have some very interesting matchups. Guarantee it. He doesn't have to win, but he should be in the tournament. I'm
Yeah.
calling it now. He should be in the tournament, and he should have a good run in it.
After that, we've got a short video package kind of introducing the
Short
movie
film.
theme, a short film. Yeah. Where, Tony Storm narrates over, the kind of the build up to this match. And then we have our AEW Women's World Championship match with Statlander, Tony Storm, Hayter, and Tekla. And wow.
Yeah. Uh, yeah.
I did
I
not
gotta
expect this at
say,
all.
yeah, me neither. That what I said about the Hurt Syndicate and the demand is the same thing that was true here. Um, every well, let's go to the match first. The match was good. It was your typical kind of four-way, everybody's at each other's throats kind of thing. At one point, Tekla spider superplexed all three women in a row.
Yeah.
That was awesome. The crowd loved that. Um, Lots of heavy hitting, as expected from Hater and
Yeah.
Stat.
Hater and Stat going at it was freaking great.
Yeah. Um, oh gosh, there was a big German suplex uh after to Statlander after a hip attack. That nearly got it. He kept trying to hate Jamie Hayter kept trying to hit everybody with a haterade. Everybody was like,
Yeah.
no,
Everybody was avoiding it like the
no
plague.
lariat, please.
Yeah.
Um, Tekla reintroduces her initial submission finish, the death trap, at one point, but who was it that broke it up?
Hater broke it up.
Hater broke it up.
Yeah.
They go on the outside. Uh, they're on the apron. What was it? Tekla spears Jamie Hayter off
Yeah.
the
She
apron to the
speared him off the
floor,
apron. Yeah.
which leaves Stat and Storm in the ring, and Stat, who had been again approached by Wheeler Yuta at the very beginning of this match on the apron, and she told him off. She gets the win with the seatbelt, and it's out of nowhere. It's not like led up to it all. It's not foreshadowed. It just happens, and I'm sitting there with my jaw on the floor,
Dude, yeah. I was just like, what?
and I'm like, I don't know how to feel about
I
it.
had no reaction for a solid 5 minutes. I was just like,
I I was stunned. I was like, on the one hand, I'm happy for Statlander because now she's the first woman to hold both singles women's titles in
yeah.
AEW history. But I hate that it's Death Rider as Jason.
Yeah, that too. Like,
I hate that because it means that it's like, are you gonna join them again because you feel obligated to Yuta because you won with his finish? Like, oh God, no, please no. And then you know how I feel about Tony. Like it was
yeah.
heartbreaking in
Yeah.
the respect. I'm like, she was the one who got pinned clean.
Yeah.
And
The
like, I mean, to be fair, Tony sold us precisely exactly the way she should have. She was
yeah.
stunned but impressed. She's been looking for somebody to take that burden off her shoulders. And she finally found it in the one that she has been kind of fawning over.
Yeah.
for, since the Owen tournament.
Yeah.
And it's I took a step back, and it's really actually smart booking because for several reasons. Because this justifies not giving Tony an immediate rematch because she was the one who was pinned, and it allows Statlander to have no. She won by pinning the champion, so there's no doubt that she earned it.
Yeah.
That these multiple person matches tend to like be the thing that sows the oh no the ultimate you didn't pin me blah blah blah. No, she pinned the champion, so
Yeah.
that's no doubt. There's no doubt. It saves Tekla, who has to this point not been pinned or made to submit,
Yeah.
keeps that going. So it protects her. And it the leaves Stat with two immediate challengers that aren't Tony Storm
Yeah.
because she could still face Hater in, just who's the baddest. And then you've got Tekla in there for the heel matchup too. So like it sets up other things. And then it was later on announced that Tony Khan has a major announcement that's coming on Dynamite that many are speculating
You think it's a tag
is
team?
finally the tag team championship for the women's division, which could benefit if you're not going to go with Willow and Stat, which clearly they chose not to do as your first champions. The Probably the best thing you can do to establish it right out the gate is Tony Storm with either Mina Shirakawa or Thunder Rosa.
Yeah.
And I could even see a world where she picks Mina, they win, but Thunder gets her own partner, turns heel on Tony. I thought we were friends. I thought we were going to do this. This was our tag team. This was us. But you chose
Yeah.
her and for an immediate challenger. So at the end of the day, I think I see the vision, but I'm still kind of upset and I'm still kind of bittersweet over it because it's like, oh, my precious Tony. Like, and especially moreover because of the Death Rider adjacency. I'm like, no, God, no, no more Death Rider. The only thing that I could see that would make this that would redeem it to me, this whole Wheeler Yuta stuff, is if they swerve us all on what's actually happening. He's whispering into her ear, I want out. Use the seatbelt as a signal if you will help me get out of this cult.
I
And so
mean,
she uses the seatbelt. And so they and Danny Garcia start scheming from the inside.
I
I
don't
think
know.
that's probably not in the cards, but I would be okay with all these shenanigans regarding Wheeler Yuta and Chris Statlander if that was or a similar direction was where they were taking it.
Mhm.
So I am so done with the Death Riders. I'm
Yeah.
so done.
I'm so done.
They
I'm
should
I'm
have,
I'm done with Death Riders. I'm fine with Don Callis family being the number one heel faction.
yeah,
Like,
switch it up.
yeah,
Like
it's just
I don't want John Moxley should be putting people over and his faction should be dissolving in the face of his failed leadership. It
yeah,
should not be carrying on this stupid point. There's no reason that Danny Garcia should be aligned with the ethos of this group.
no,
There's no reason that he should see like I could see him joining the Blackpool Combat Club
yeah,
because that was about self improvement. That was about I need to harden. I need to get better. I need to surround myself by the toughest to toughen myself up and become the best wrestler I can be. That's not the ethos of the Death Riders.
no,
The ethos of the Death Riders is survival of the fittest and fuck you, get out of the way if you're not fit to survive.
Yeah.
and we will burn down everything around you to build this place in our image. That's not competition. That's fascism.
Yeah. Basically.
So, like, there's no reason that I mean, I understand why Danny Garcia, the character of Danny Garcia, would be at a crossroads in his professional life right now. But there's no reason that he would jump into a burn everything down cult. He's not that far gone. It doesn't make sense. What does make sense is him feigning it to take him down from the inside. I would accept that and maybe tie that in with Wheeler Yuta. You
Mhm.
know, maybe that you get a good tag team out of the end of when the dust settles. You know,
Maybe. But
I
Wheeler
don't
has to cut
know.
his hair and his beard.
Oh, I mean that goes without saying. He's a baby face. You have to see the baby face.
Yeah. So after our new women's world champion, we have our world tag team championship four-way ladder match. And if this wasn't all kinds of crazy, I don't know what's crazy, dude. Like this was fucking ridiculous. The
God,
shit that I saw happen here was insane. Like, and a lot of it comes down to Speedball and Kevin Knight just being really good at what they do, man. Like
yeah,
those two really changed the dynamic and kind of drove what was happening in the match for the most part, it seemed like.
yeah, yeah. I don't know how to describe this. There's just so much happened. What I will say is that at one point, uh, Brody King takes poor Speedball over his shoulder and walks out onto a ladder that was spanning from the apron to the barricade and gives poor Speedball a tombstone pile driver through it that breaks the ladder, and Jet Speed is motionless for the rest of the match.
Yeah, he pretty much killed Speedball at that point.
Completely motionless.
And
It
then
was a freaking hate crime.
yeah, basically. I don't know, it didn't have the crowd chanting "This is murder" like the bag thing.
That's true.
But
Great chant, by the way.
but
Good on
still
you
there
for
was
Austin.
plenty of near murder in this match.
Oh yeah, that was after uh that was after Speedball nearly murders Echecero by trying to hit uh
The backflip
the,
knees.
the
Oh
backflip
God.
knees
I
onto
think he fucked
Echecero.
himself up worse than he fucked up Hechicero, and but he did
Yeah,
land
because
on Hechicero's head.
yeah, he landed on his head while he was splayed out on a ladder that was
Yeah.
set up on the top turnbuckle and balanced on another set up ladder. Um, but yeah, I think you're right. I think Speedball actually got the worst of that. Um,
How he went into that match with no shoes on, I will never like. I get that
oh
you
my
compete
God.
without shoes on, but a match like that, put some fucking shoes on, homie, and I bet we see that from now on.
I mean, either that or the calluses on his feet are more callous than Don Callus. I don't know. Like,
Callous's ain't gonna save you from breaking your toes on a fucking ladder because you did a backflip into somebody's face.
yeah. It's like you are a high flyer. You need your toes. You are a
Dude,
kicker.
man,
You need your
that was
toes.
like that should have my fucking wife covering her face. She was like, "Oh my god, what is he?" I was like, "He's about
Yeah.
to do the backflip," and then he did the thing, and I was like, "Oh, he's definitely doing that backflip."
Yeah.
And he did it, and I was like, "Oh god, he landed on Hechecero's head." Poor Hechicero.
Yeah. The end of the match, like nearly everybody, Speedball notwithstanding, is like scrambling to get up the ladder, and like everybody's kind of taking a turn going up the ladder and getting taken off. At one point, though, Kevin Knight's there, and he's faster and more athletic than anybody that's left. So the rest of the guys take the ladder that he's on and just carry it to the edge of the ring and throw him through the tables that are set up on the outside.
Yeah, they just dumped like they
They
picked him
just
up
dump
and
him
dumped
over
him. Yeah.
like he was a bag of trash, and the outside of the ring was a dump. Like he got garbage trucked out to the back.
Oh yeah.
It was stupid. It was ludicrous. It was absolutely bonkers. It was donk bonkers.
Yeah.
But um yeah, Bandito eventually gets the belts from the to retain after Brody pushes the ladder that the Bucks are both on to get over. They had hit the BTE trigger on Alexander, Josh Alexander. They were
Hmm.
both going to climb up, and they were doing so quickly too. But Brody intercepted them, threw them off, tipped the ladder over to the other side of the ring, to the outside, and Bandito got both belts, and there they go. Uh,
This match was
Amazing,
awesome.
just
This match was so awesome.
incredible. We had three, technically four, but or well, technically five, but three different hardcore matches on this card, and every single one of them managed to be different in their
Yeah,
own ways. Like it was, I mean, that's if you're gonna do it, that's the way to do it. Like
yeah,
make
yeah.
them
If you're gonna
different and
have this
memorable
many
in their own ways.
furniture matches, this is the way to format it. Like they did this right
Yeah.
for sure.
It was after the
Um,
match that was most interesting, though.
yeah, and here's my come to Jesus moment because look, I'm gonna tell y'all, like y'all, if you've been listening to this podcast since we started it, you know I'm not a Jack Perry guy, and I especially don't like the scapegoat character. But I was a fan of Jurassic Express. Now, after the match, Jack Perry shows up, and I'm like, great. But if you've been watching BTE, which I went back, I had to go back and watch the episode where this happened after the fact. But he apparently sent them a knife that he had forged himself with a note that said, "This is for next time you want to stab me in the back."
I don't know how they really stabbed him in the back, but
Not
okay.
sure, but past that, he shows up. He starts beating on the Bucks, and he gets pulled off by Rocky Romero.
Who's
Um,
somehow there.
yeah, who's somehow there. He gets dropped, but then Perry turns around and he gets super kicked by the Bucks, and they go to set up the BTE trigger, but he looks up at him with this shit eating grin.
He looks like the freaking Joker.
Yeah.
Like
And the
he
lights go out,
and an
and we
extended
see,
version
yeah, an
of
extended version of
yeah.
the kill switch vignette where Jack Perry digs him out of his grave, pulls him behind the scapegoat bus to the lab, and it turns out that Jack Perry is the person who brought Kill
Yeah.
Switch back to life.
Yeah. Full on Frankenstein him.
Full on Frankenstein. And then we go back to the ring, and the lights come back up, and Kill Switch is standing behind the Bucks. And
Yo.
he crushes them both.
Huge pop.
Huge
Enormous
pop.
pop.
And oh my God, one of the biggest pops of the night by
Yeah,
far.
this one you heard.
Yeah, you definitely heard it. And that wasn't even the biggest pop of this segment. He gets a huge pop. He crushes the Bucks.
We don't
They,
know what happened to Rocky Romero.
yeah, we don't know what
He
happened to
he was
Rocky
not
Romero,
there. He,
but they kind of have a little exchange, and Jack Perry points at the kill switch belt that he's wearing,
yeah,
and
weight
he
belt.
takes it off and he tries to hand it to Jack Perry, and Jack Perry just points out at the crowd. And guaranteed today, there's a kill switch belt on eBay for like $1,000.
Yeah.
um, but he throws it out to the crowd, and then they hug. And when they hug, Tarzan Boy starts playing. And
Yeah.
that
Baltimore,
is where the
baby.
biggest pop gets. The crowd goes
Whole
nuts for
crowd
that. And
with
you
their
can see
arms in
Jack
the air.
Perry
He's
maybe
he's trying
crying
not
a
to
little bit,
break.
trying not to
He's
cry.
trying so hard not to break.
Yeah. Um, but even Alpha's caught up in this. Man, I was like,
Yeah.
all right, Jurassic Express is back.
I loved it. I love like because this is a different Jack Perry.
Yeah.
Like this is not going to be wild bright-eyed, wide-eyed jungle boy. Like this is a different. He's not going to just revert. We don't do that in
No.
AEW. We don't just revert back to old characteristics and personalities.
Yeah.
Uh, it's going to be a different act, much like Cope and Christian now are different than they were when they were tagging in WWE.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm excited for it. Like I said, I think they're trying to rebuild an emphasis on the tag team division. So, yeah, I'm okay with it. I'm
Yeah.
totally okay with it. I didn't see it coming.
No, not at
Like, I
all.
mean,
Not at
I
all.
I figured it, when Killswitch first came back, that it was Jack Perry who did it because he was in that video. If you couldn't see his face, you recognized the jacket. Like it was the scapegoat jacket. Like you knew it was him. You just didn't know what the deal was, and they drew it out until this pay per view to show you what was going on.
Yeah.
But like, I didn't I didn't see this coming. Still, like the whole I didn't see Baltimore coming. I didn't see you know I, I don't know. I guess I just didn't expect them to do it full on. Maybe
Yeah.
I'd see them make up but not team up.
Yeah. But no,
But no, I think this
We're definitely getting Jurassic Express back.
yeah,
Like
this is
full on.
better.
Yeah.
This is better.
Um, After that, Excalibur kind of suddenly stops in the middle of what he's talking and hitches and says that there's a disturbance backstage. But what we go to isn't really a disturbance yet.
Oh
So we go
no,
back.
they
Marina
kind
Shafir is
of
demanding a cameraman follow her and film this. And what we see is John Moxley tell them all to get in the truck and go away so that he can have a moment with Darby by himself. And he tells the cameraman to go away, but of course the cameraman doesn't go away.
of course not. Why would he?
And he
He's a man with a camera.
he's like eulogizing Darby basically, and Darby, like a fucking ghost-ridden Jack in the Box, pops out of the fucking coffin. He's out of the bag, and he waylays John Moxley with the pipe that he
Yep.
put back in the coffin. And after that, I mean, Darby. I don't know what Darby is saying during this, but he is screaming at
Yeah.
fucking John Moxley like a fucking madman. And he's like, "You want to take everything? You want to do this? You want to burn shit down? Blah blah blah." And then he starts covering Moxley inside the bag in flammable aerosol spray, and then lights that on fire. But then lights the aerosol spray on fire and continues spraying fire
Yeah.
all over John
Uh,
Moxley.
I want to point out very specifically, he lit that man's ass on fire.
Yeah,
He literally lit a man's ass on
on
fire.
fire.
It
Yeah.
was his ass
Now,
on
last
fire.
time somebody got set on fire, hi Jack Perry. We didn't see him for like 6 months.
Yeah. No, no,
I
no, 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 no. Because remember, he recovered from that pretty well. It was it wasn't until because that was Anarchy in the Arena, which was in May. Then he would win the TNT title, but then drop it to Danny Garcia in November, I think, full gear. So
yeah.
that's where he disappeared when he dropped the belt to
Yeah.
Garcia.
But still, like, we just set John Moxley on fire. What are we gonna do on Wednesday with the Death Riders? Like
You're gonna put him in a wheelchair with just like mummy bandages
the
around
mummy
his
bandages around his
yeah.
crotch.
Yeah. I really hope all I'll say is this. Renee is from Toronto. I really hope that they're staying with her family. I would hate to fly with a burned ass.
No shit. I would definitely not be flying.
No.
Uh, but yeah, so he got lit on fire, and that subsequently takes us directly into our main event. Um, and where we've got the AEW World Championship on the line between Hangman Page and our TNT champion, Kyle Fletcher. And this was so good.
Yeah.
Kyle
They
Fletcher moves like he is shot out of a rocket all the time.
yeah,
Like,
until he doesn't. And
yeah,
then he
until he
just
does.
saunters and he takes his time. He surveys the situation and he taunts the crowd. And then he's on you on top of you like a lion. Like
Yeah.
it's just his pacing is excellent.
Oh,
It
yeah.
really is. I I did really, 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 really like this match. I did, however, have a couple of issues with it. Primarily that I know that he took the brain buster to the table and everything, but I feel like Page gave him too much. I think he gave Fletcher a little too
No,
much. Like
no,
at one point I'm thinking, Page, you're kind of looking like a punching bag here, and not in the way that like I'm gonna be excited for your comeback in the way that you kind of look like a pussy right now. Like
well,
like it
the
wasn't, and I hate that I had to say that. I hate that I felt that, but it was like I know Fletcher's the future, but like the whole thing was about how he wasn't ready. Could you show him that he's not ready?
I mean, he did eventually.
Yeah,
But
he
I think the
did,
key
but
here is that we're trying to make a star, and
yeah,
I don't think I honestly don't think that like that Kyle Fletcher world champion is as far in the future as other people think it is.
I
I
mean
think we
I
are
get
trying to
that,
make him now, and
I
for
get
damn good
that,
reason.
but I don't think that he should come off as with the position that Hangman Page is and the momentum that he's riding. I don't like the idea of people looking at this match and saying, "Oh, Fletcher should have won that. He was clearly the better wrestler." I don't think that's a good look. And but that was like the he gave Fletcher so much of the offense in this match, of the control of this match, and I'm like, ooh, like could I mean even one or two more like short hope spot comebacks would have improved it, I think. And I know that I maybe I'm just spoiled and maybe I'm just biased because I like Hanger so much. And I'll admit to that. But I personally, as good as this match was, and it was great, and it was also a great thing to find out that AEW got counter programmed with WrestlePalooza, and this match was structured so that it would run into the beginning of that show. And they started with Cena versus Lesnar, and by the time that was done, this match still wasn't done. I enjoyed that from a petty standpoint. Uh, Especially given the fact that that match was apparently nothing more than an extended Brock Lesnar squash match. Why would anybody have been excited for that? Why would
I
anybody
surely
have
wasn't.
in the year of our Lord 2025 would anybody have been excited for that? And furthermore, why would anybody have thought that was the way to go in that match? You're on Cena's last run. He has like 3 or 4 dates left, and you're squashing him
With
to a
Brock
guy to a,
again.
to Brock again, who's not even going to be there full time to benefit from it.
Nope.
When that could have gone to somebody like Drew,
Yep.
who could have really used it to put him in that upper echelon, or at least Seth defending his title, or
Yeah.
something.
Something.
Like Brock is the person who needs that rub the least. He's the most inherently credible guy on that roster
Yeah.
because he was a champion in a real sport, like a real combat sport. Like, what are we doing?
No idea.
What are we doing? You're not doing this. I
No,
know
they're not
that.
doing
You're
this.
not
Yeah.
having a 35, 40 minute banger main event where you're showcasing the future of your company against the most popular guy in the company.
Yeah. They're definitely not doing that.
Definitely not doing that. They're not wasting their time making new stars when they could just make money off of the old guard and a
Yeah.
returning AJ Lee, who's doing the windmill and forcing Becky to sell her. Like,
Ugh.
like, uh, huge win for AEW. I didn't even watch WrestlePalooza. I have no intention of it. But from what I'm seeing, I cannot in any way, shape, or form think that WrestlePalooza would have won out over All Out
No,
at
no
all.
question.
Even the
No.
casuals who are there for the moments and the nostalgia pops, if they had seen this show, they would have been far more entertained, even if they don't like the wrestling part of wrestling, than
Yeah.
anything that I have seen from clips of WrestlePalooza.
Oh, no question.
Jeez Louise. But yeah, Hanger won after a dead eye through a table, which somehow in AEW doesn't get you disqualified. I don't know why. Uh,
He had a dead eye off the top rope where he basically
that's
dropped Kyle
true.
Fletcher on
Yeah.
his freaking head too. That
Well,
was
I
just
mean,
oh
he accepted to take the spot.
yeah.
At that point, with the way that that move works, your safety's on you, bro.
Yeah.
Like there's no other way to put it. Like,
Yeah. The best thing he could do for Kyle was let go of him. If he took him down with him, it could have been like
oh
he
my
normally
God,
does
yeah.
on a dead eye. It could have been really bad. So
Yeah.
the best thing he could have done was drop him, but Kyle, it
Yeah.
was Kyle's job not to land on his fucking head,
Yep.
and he still managed to do most of that.
Yeah.
But man, yeah, this was really good. I
Although
expected
I will say,
aftermatch shenanigans and didn't get any though.
yeah. Oh, I'm so glad.
Yeah, I was kind of
I'm
glad too
s-
because I was really
I'm so
tired.
glad.
I was so tired. It was 4:30 in the morning, and I was like, because I started watching late, and I was like, oh my god, please don't be an attack or anything. And then I looked at I flipped my stick up and looked at the meter, and was like, oh, there's only like 30 seconds left. They're not gonna do anything crazy.
Yeah.
And then the AEW logo came up, and I was like, okay.
That doesn't necessarily mean anything,
Not most
but
of the time, but when you only have like 15 seconds left, yeah, they're not
oh
gonna like
yeah, then
have
no.
somebody run out right then,
Yeah.
That way they gotta come into Dynamite and waste 30 minutes in Dynamite, showing what happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, this match was so good. Yeah, Kyle Fletcher's I don't think is the future of this company. He's the now. He's very much
Yeah.
the now. Um, I think every time he gets in the ring lately, he's proven that it's not just he will
Oh
be a
yeah, it's
big
a matter
star
of when.
soon. Yeah, he oozes big star.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
it's funny because like Okada is the unified champion, which is like very clearly the number two.
Yeah.
Now it's two belts in one.
Yeah.
Then they're neither one of them the world title, but they're two belts in one. So it's very clearly number two, and TNT is very clearly tertiary. But right now, Fletcher's feeling like a bigger star than Okada is,
Oh
and
yeah.
they're in the same faction. And
Yeah.
Takeshita feels like a bigger star than Okada does too,
And they're in the same faction
and they're in the
also.
same
And
faction.
they're definitely on a collision course.
Oh yeah,
Across multiple promotions, they are on a
I
collision course.
expect Takeshita to turn babyface by the end of the year,
Yeah.
probably
One of these
during
three
or after
matches
the
is going to
C2.
take place in New Japan.
Yeah.
Well, at
Oh
least
yeah.
one of the three,
Yeah.
but there
I
will be
I
three.
think that Takeshita wins the IWGP World Heavyweight title from Zack Sabre Jr. I think it's in about a month or so. That show that's going to be on
Yeah.
thereabouts,
Then he'll probably beat
maybe
Okada
five
at Wrestle
weeks,
Kingdom.
and then then he'll face Okada at Wrestle Kingdom, and he'll probably win.
Yeah.
They'll get the benefit of the big buy rate, but they'll still have the young guy with the belt
Yeah.
going over. I think that's the best
It'll
that
be the
they can
first
do
time
right
I've ever
now.
gone into a Wrestle Kingdom knowing what's going to happen beforehand and actually wanting to watch it.
Yeah. I feel like that's probably their best bet at a really good buy rate,
Hmm.
fan interest. And I also feel it's the right direction of the company for the company that's really, really hurting for stars right now.
Yeah.
Like like most of the guys that they have depended on for the last 10 years have either moved on to other promotions or have retired.
Yeah.
It started with Nakamura. Started with Nakamura, and then then they lost AJ Styles too, and then Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks, all went to and Cody all went to form AEW.
Hmm.
A few years later, Okada jumps over.
Okada.
Tanahashi's
Then,
retiring because he doesn't have any knees left.
yeah.
Naito is barely functioning
Yeah.
to the
Jay
point where
White's in
like Jay
AEW.
White's in AEW, like they've lost all of the guys that they made,
Yeah.
and they've tried to. I mean, just from an outsider's perspective, I don't I don't have like I don't follow with religiosity, but it's very clear from everything that I've read that they've tried to make some young stars and it's just not really
They're
working
not
out.
sticking.
They're
Yeah.
not sticking. Yoda Suji and all them, they're not sticking for some
Japanese fans
reason.
want Gaijins, man.
Well, I mean,
New Japan
they
fans
probably
specifically want
honestly
Gaijins, man.
they could probably move Takahashi if they would let him gain weight and just move up to heavyweight. They could have him be the anchor at least for
Yeah.
a little while, but for whatever reason they refuse to do that. Um, I mean, Takeshita is on this weird, you know, triple contract with he's got a contract with AEW, New Japan, and DDT all separate.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, Takeshita's the guy who's certainly the most ready, even if the homegrown fans probably don't want to immediately accept him because he's not like a homegrown guy, so to
Yeah.
speak. He's still like in the conversation of arguably the best wrestler currently working full time.
Yeah.
Like
Easily.
he's on such a roll. It's like the conversation is him and Bandito and Fletcher and Hanger. And I mean, if you needed to include somebody from WWE, it would probably be Seth, I guess. But
We don't need to
you
include anybody from there.
know, oh, and Mystico, you gotta put Mystico in there.
Yeah.
So like, it's I don't know. It's to me, yeah, Wrestle Kingdom. That's what you do. Bring in Okada to put over Takeshita, cement him as champion, top the buy rate because of Okada's drawing power.
Yeah.
So there you go. That's what you do. But in order to do that, they can't both be in the Don Callis family.
No.
It's very clear that that there's just storyline wise, those two egos they're not gonna mesh. They're not gonna play well together.
No.
They call Takeshita the alpha for a reason.
They
And
brought that up on commentary. Like you call him the alpha, but he's, the number one guy.
yeah,
Or, Okada's the number one guy, but, Kanosuke's the alpha, and you called him that, Don. So,
yeah,
and Don
exactly.
Callis just keeps me like, there's no problem, but there's definitely a problem, Don.
Oh, there's definitely.
No, there's a problem.
I
Your balls
guarantee
was
you.
shriveling up, Don.
I guarantee you, this is a fake out. He knows that he may not have intended it, but they're gonna play it off like he may not have sown the discord on purpose, but once finally saw it was there, he was deny until he could figure out a plan to do something about the impending betrayal that he knew was coming.
Yeah.
And then it'll be like the pinnacle, how it looked like the inner circle was just gonna all, just destroy MJF, and then all of a sudden, nope, MJF has been scheming in the background. He's got his own gang of guys that you don't know about. They just wreck house. It's gonna
Yeah.
be like that, where it looks like Takeshita is gonna, go over and he's gonna, beat up Don, but no, Don is gonna have seen this coming from a mile away, and he's gonna intercept it before it ever gets there.
Yeah.
So, because that's how scheming heel managers do,
Yeah. I'm
especially
actually
the
more interested in seeing how Callis pushes the heel dynamic with the smart baby face like Hanger. Like
yeah.
how like because basically if Hanger's gonna play the smart role where he's not going to fall for all the normal heel tactics, that means that Don Callis and or whoever's booking this particular storyline is
Has to
going to
be
have to
creative.
push they're gonna have to push the boundaries of what heel tactics are
Well,
and
I mean,
possibly create new heel tactics.
well, remember, we've
I'm
already seen
excited
this
about
kind
that.
of play out already with the MJF thing. He got MJF to put his contract on the line, and MJF found a way to weasel it back in there.
Yeah.
So it's, Hanger was smart, but, he couldn't have foreseen him teaming up with Ricochet to take out Mark Briscoe.
No.
Nobody could have foreseen that, really.
Yeah.
So, it's one of, escalation.
Yeah.
As long as the babyface doesn't need to be the smartest one at the end, as long as he
Hmm.
overcomes the bad guy, but he
Yeah.
needs to be smart enough to avoid the obvious first step. That's all you really need,
Yeah.
because then the trope will have been defied and subverted. That's all you need is that. And
Yeah.
then everything else is just like, oh, well, I mean, you couldn't have seen that coming. That because, like, well, he tried to stop this, like at least the effort was there instead of,
Yeah.
God, this baby face is so stupid. Why doesn't he see this coming?
Right.
Because the first step is obvious. The second step, the retaliatory one, isn't as obvious because you don't know how they're going to react to it.
Yeah.
So,
We'll see how it all
anyway,
plays out, though. I'm excited for
yeah,
Wednesday. And
me,
if this big announcement from Tony Khan is the women's tag division, we called this shit a year ago when we saw the pattern emerging,
yeah,
and we are the only real wrestling journalists.
and we're not even, and we are not even. I don't have a journalism degree. I don't have sources. I don't write crap, except for, posts on Blue Sky. That's
Yep.
that's the extent of my journalistic, uh, you know, credibility.
We're news pundits, sir.
We are
And
uh
critics.
we are
Uh,
critics.
Critics count as journalists. So there we
We
go.
are analysts. That's
Analysts.
what
There
we're
we go.
analysts.
Yeah. But anyway, uh, all that was really a great show.
Yeah.
I had a really good time watching it. Good time covering it as usual. Little housekeeping. We have just a few more episodes to go before we are going to go ahead and take our break for the end of the year. We're coming up real quick on 20 episodes in this season. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go Full Gears also on a Saturday, and that's our next paper. No, wait. Wrestle Dream is on a Saturday, and Full
Mhm.
Gears on a Saturday. So we won't be having any more watch alongs for the rest of the year. Um, but after Full Gear, we're probably gonna cut it for the year and then come back to you in January sometime, February.
Yeah.
Um, but we just wanted to, let everybody know that way. We will be letting you know like when we do our full gear review, like, hey, this is our finale, this is our last show. But we're just letting you know now, like, hey, we're gonna go through the next two pay-per-views, and then we're probably gonna take our break for the year so we can spend the holidays with our family. My brother, like after full gear, my brother's getting married and some other things are happening, and I got a bunch of weddings to go to and all the holidays too. So um we it's the busiest time of the year despite being the time when the least amount of work gets done. So
Right?
but yeah, so that's the housekeeping and we enjoyed this week, man. This was one of the best weeks of wrestling in a long time. I'm anxious to see what happens on Wednesday and yeah,
All right.
but yeah.
Well, with that, stay safe. It's dangerous out there. Wear a mask if you're going to protest. Do not, do not, do not sign anything. Don't do it.
Don't sign anything.
Don't do it.
October 18th is the day of Wrestle Dream. It is also the next No Kings Day for those of you out there of the same ilk as we.
Yeah.
So, other than that, we love you. Keep your head on a swivel out there. It's dangerous, and
Yeah.
see you next week.
Peace.
Peace.